Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. PHIX, AM and the PM crossover here on A2D Radio. We're all still live from our own houses. And every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our doc, Make Him Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We got a ton of us. Tom Arnone, Ryan Broder, Ralph Del Vecchio, Steppy down there, Tori, Frank Vespi in the house. We got everybody. All of us are here. I don't think we're missing anybody, are we?
No, we're good.
Everybody, we got a Wednesday with everybody. Look at us. Look at us. Ton to talk about misery-wise tonight. Well, NFL Week 4 predictions. I mean, that's not really misery, right? But here the misery begins. Phillies not firing Matt Klentak, or are they firing Matt Klentak? What direction are the Phillies going? Nobody knows. Your star players out there yelling for the best catcher in baseball to be signed. Right? This isn't good. This isn't good. A good dynamic, right? If that deal doesn't get done, right? Everybody understands that, right? No trades can get wiped away real quick, right? If your star is not happy, right, and when your star has publicly spoke about a player for how long now on how it needs to get done, somebody needs to pull the trigger. John Middleton, take your plane somewhere again and sign a deal, right? That's what we need to get to, Uncle Cigars, because this cannot happen here if Matt Klentak comes back or doesn't come back. We all know where he should go, and that's like a Howie Roseman closet, right? If even there, if we're even nice enough to send him to a closet. So we'll talk about the Phillies later on in the show. Sixers could be a little excitement. I mean, it brings me up. When you talk about Doc Rivers, I love Doc. I've loved Doc forever. I mean, I couldn't say enough about him for years now. He's one of my favorite coaches in the NBA now. Has he always gotten it done? No. But I still like Doc. I think he brings that basketball guy I'm looking for, a former player, guy who holds weight in this city, guy who holds weight around the league and will hold weight in this city, brings all them, checks all them boxes for me. Every box that needs to be checked, Doc Rivers checks for me, and especially with what's out there. So if you tell me you'll take D'Antoni over Doc Rivers, I would tell you stop watching basketball, right? Because that doesn't fit here. All right, that's what I'll just tell you. But we'll get into the Sixers second half of the show. Main topic in hand, and we're back to misery. Eagles versus Niners preview. I'm sure we'll talk about what was a thrilling game last Sunday when you talk about a tie, because people wake up for ties now. When you get out of bed in the morning and you're going to compete, right? You say, you know what? You know what would be great today? A tie. A tie. So you punt. We'll talk. We'll discuss our poll question. Well, listen, real quick, before we even get to our poll, I want to ask you guys real quick, because we talked about it Sunday. Just real fast. Do you punt there? Nobody's punting there, right? I just want to confirm.
No, you take. I'm going for the field goal, dude. Going for the field goal.
Okay.
You have to.
Make sure nobody's punting.
You have to try it, right?
Anybody
You can't go to bed after that. I mean, you can't go after that game and go lay down in your bed after that and think to yourself, man, what happens if I just kicked the field goal and you would have made that? I mean, it's such a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. But if I'm Doug Peterson, I'm going. I'm kicking that field goal.
There's no damned if you do. If damned if you do is you went for it. You were that coach that everyone thinks you are, right? You gave yourself a chance to win. That's what you do as a coach.
Zach talk.
You know, whether it's go for
where
it.
Where did that go? But where did that go though? Where did that go? Because a year or 2 years ago, he's kicking that though. He's kicking that. He's running Jake out. He's running Jake out, and he's kicking that.
I'm not going to continue to say it. I mean, you asked where the sack went. It could have went to the secretary. I can't confirm or deny. Right? I don't know. But I mean, it went somewhere, and somewhere not good. Not good. All right. So everybody's going for it or kicking a field goal. So nobody's punting here. Just wanted to confirm. All right. Now we get the misery.
Again, but real quick, especially in today's NFL with the pass interference flag happy league that we're in. Like, just give it a shot if you don't want to kick it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got nobody to throw the ball to, but give it a shot. So our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services, ambuck services.com. Tell them the fan from A2D saying you 20% off. It's ambuckservices.com. Our poll question, the Philadelphia Eagles have a QB problem. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where you can find us live. And everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Like, follow, subscribe. You know the deal. We'll answer off all your questions, comments, displeasure. The people who probably are quitting on the team, we'll read off them all. If there's people who have faith out there, please tell us how. Please tell us how.
Get the
Now
hell
we're laying
out
on
of
your
here.
couch. Now we're laying on your couch tonight, okay? So now we're on your couch, and you're going to talk us off the ledge. I told you if we lost that I was at the ledge, right? I told you if we lost, I was at the ledge. I don't know what a tie does for me. I mean, I'm still on the ledge. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, so I'm still legend. And this can just push me off this weekend. All right, well, we're gonna, what team comes out to play Sunday night in a primetime game and a must-win game? We're gonna find out. So the Philadelphia Eagles have a QB problem. Agree or disagree? I mean, I disagree because it's a factory, right?
Oh Christ!
I mean,
Not this again.
This is what I was told. So if 11's not the guy, then number 2 is, right? Because it's a factory. This is what they told me. So if 1's not the guy, then the guy you drafted in the second round, then what? He would be the guy? I'm not there yet. But I'll be honest with you. He's got nobody to throw the football to, right? I get it. I've been yelling and screaming about it. This organization has done him no favors. But I need you to carry this football team right now. Okay? I need you to carry this football team. I'm not quitting on you. I'm not going to all of a sudden waver on how I feel about you, right? But this is a weekend where you got to come carry. Primetime game. I need your best performance. I seen a little bit of that Sunday in terms of running with the football, which I really enjoyed. But this guy's got to, he's got to take over. He's got to be more decisive with the football, right? When I see a quarterback that doesn't just deliver, you're either not seeing the field well or you're scared to throw an interception. Either or, not a good combo to have. Now, weapons help, right? But we didn't have weapons last year. So it's time to adjust. It's time to figure it out and get going. You're a 5-year starter now. This isn't a rookie year anymore. I know this organization's done you no favors offensively. But you got to carry, man, the best you can. And that doesn't mean an 0-3-1 start. You understand? That means getting back in it this weekend against a good football team, even though they're banged up. So a really good football team means get back into it. Get back in. Get a win. Cures a lot of things wins do. Another loss doesn't cure anything but your job on the line. That's all it's going to cure. I mean, if he doesn't get it done, I don't care who's out there. They're not going to make excuses for it. How long do you run it out there? Because this hasn't even been close to good against bad football teams. So am I concerned a little bit? Absolutely. It's like when a pitcher can't throw strikes or you get a little gun shy. I don't know what the real issue is. But I'll tell you this, I disagree to the poll because I don't think we have a QB problem in terms of can Carson play? I still believe he can play. I still do. I mean, it hasn't been good this, early on here. It doesn't look like it. I mean, a lot of people out there are like, Tom, you kidding me? Come on. He can play, Tom. Have you watched him? Tom? Yes. And it's disturbing. You understand? It's disturbing. I don't know how else to tell people this, right? What I've watched, I don't like. It looks scared to me to make the throws. Why? Because everything stinks out there. But that's a story for another day, because if I say that too many times, it's called an excuse. And I'm not going to be in the excuse game tonight. It's about production. You're the leader of this football team offensively. If I can bury Fletcher Cox every Monday, right, then I can sure as hell bury you too and say, I need more. I need more. I know things are banged up. I know things aren't perfect, but I need more. You have enough command of this offense in year 5 that I need more now, because I don't want your job to be on the line. Because if your job's on the line, That means we're regressing as an organization, even more so than we are than it looks like right now. Make sense? If he's not the guy, then we regress. All right? We seen the trick Lamar Jackson when you can't throw the football enough. You understand this? And we see Patrick Mahomes. Okay? We just watched this the other night. So you think Jalen Hurts going to come to the league? Now he's a slinger? Now Sling City? Uncle Accuracy? Come on. Carson Wentz got to be the guy for us to get back to where we want to get to one day. Right now, in this moment. So I disagree. I still got faith in him, and I still have faith. I still have faith in the guy behind him too. It's something we're going to have faith in terms of like he's at least a playmaker. But that's what I mean by faith. I don't mean faith throwing the football. So I mean I have faith in 11 still. I can't just quit on him because the same guy was just here last year over the last 5 games. He didn't go anywhere, but it looks like he did. So I disagree. Everybody out there, what do you say?
Go ahead,
and
Ryan.
you guys, let's go.
Go ahead, Ryan. You can go.
So it's tough because you look at the situation, and I haven't given up on Carson at all because there's nobody that can deny that the bigger issue is the people in the front office and maybe even the people on the sidelines. That's it's starting to trend that way, but I'm not somebody who's fully given up on Doug, yet. Now, if this continues for another couple weeks, yeah, I'm definitely going to be closer with that. The problem with the quarterback position, you could say, is that you have some fans and the organization, you could say, okay, well, if all of a sudden Carson Wentz has turned into the guy who isn't the guy, well, you're not in a situation where you can just get rid of him this coming offseason unless you want to eat $30 million of cap space. You're not doing that. Plan B is you move on, to Tom's point, you move on to Jalen Hurts, who even Doug Peterson has said he's not ready to go. So you move on to him, but that's not going to fix anything because he's nothing more than a gadget player at this point who, by the way, he was on the field like 3 times and he even fumbled the football and they just shut him down for the day. So like, okay, we're done with seeing you. The guy who they were preaching for 4 years, Nate Sudfeld, who they said could be a legitimate starter in the league, he's wearing street clothes every week. And for everyone saying, hey, we want to tank for Trevor Lawrence, number one, you're going to need to be the overall number 1 pick. Number 2, you're probably going to have to say no to probably 10 different offers that are going to be made to you by other NFL teams trying to get the number 1 pick for Trevor Lawrence. And 3, going back to my first point, you can't draft another guy because then you're paying like 5 quarterbacks. One of them you're paying over $128 million.
Yeah, so, you would assume the one gets dealt then, and you take the cap hit, and you take the whatever cap hit is for the next year, and you
30 mil, yeah,
and you eat it, and you move on. I mean, that's what they would do. Obviously, you know what I mean. They would go that route, but I mean that's damn where
it's aggressive. It's aggressive. That's a lot of dominoes that need to fall. To me, the problem also lies with this because, to be honest, and people would say I'm making excuses for him. I don't think it's all this, necessarily his fault for what I'm going to say. I don't think there's an immediate direct avenue to fix it, at least this season, because you look at what's around him. You have maybe worse weapons than you did last season, if that's even possible. There's one guy that could really save him. And Tom, you have been saying it longer than I have. And it's Alshon Jeffrey. And I don't know how much we're really betting on Alshon Jeffrey to return and magically become Alshon from 2017. But that's kind of the thing that we, and I believe the offense, is kind of hanging their head on. And the reason why I say Alshon, it's the familiar, trustworthy face from the best season of Carson Wentz's career. I don't necessarily trust the overall game plan of this offense to come up with a quick fix. I don't need to hear from Doug Peterson. He needs to simplify things for a 5th-year quarterback. Could it work? Yeah, sure. Hell, I'll take anything other than what we've been seeing. But you also look at it, it's even more puzzling. This team was awesome in the first half, week 1. Like, it's not like we had seen nothing good this year, and the last time we saw any good offensive game plan was like week 10 of last year. We saw it in the entire first half, week 1. He looked like the freaking MVP. And then something happened. And that was without Miles. So it's not even like we could say, we're really depleted, compared to then. I mean, obviously Rager's gone and half the team, it seems like half the team's dead when you look at the injury report. But to me, it's solely an example, and we talked about it last week, and we're probably going to continue to talk about it. It's an example of the quarterback is struggling in his own right. He can't rely on his weapons because everyone on the field and in the stadium, if they have fans in that stadium, knows he's throwing the ball to Ertz, so they're going to make sure he's locked up. They know that Whiteside's not a threat if he's even on the field. You've got a bunch of rookies, no-name guys. Greg Ward, they're going to say, okay, he's reliable, so we're going to button him up. Deshaun's a part-time player, and he's already hurt. And Dallas Goedert's hurt. So you look at it to where he's struggling. He can't trust anybody. Nobody can get open for him, so he's going to force. That's my concern. But to me, I don't think it's a problem because I think that's easily fixable going into the future with Carson. The only way I say it's a quarterback problem is if I don't think he can be fixed. He can. It's up to the organizational problem to be fixed first, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got to play better. But like I said, the organization's done him no favors. But as a fifth-year player, he has to play better, right? He has to simplify himself then. You understand what I'm saying? Like, then he has to simplify at the line. He has to do some of these things that I'm not seeing. He has to just be decisive with the football at times. That's it. I mean, nobody's helping him. Nobody's helping him. So it takes more than one to tango here. So, again, I can be critical of him and not waver that he's my quarterback, and I plan on moving forward with him for a long time, right? I mean, that's the hope. That's the hope. And I refuse to not believe the things I've watched from him. Like, right? I think we all consider him like, well, all the things we've seen from him, there are all our eyes that messed up, like in judging talent, because it wasn't just us inside Philly. It was everywhere. His ability. I mean, his ability. People talk about everywhere. Now it looks like you're a seventh round pick just thrown into the fire, right? It just looks strange to me. That's all. All right, to the poll. The Eagles have a QB problem. Agree or disagree?
I agree to the poll, but it has nothing to do with the other quarterbacks on the roster. I don't think we have a QB problem in the sense of Jalen Hurts is getting ready to play and we have him nipping at the heels. I think we have a QB problem in Carson Wentz just isn't very good right now. You know what I mean? He's statistically the worst quarterback in football, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still believe, as you said, Tom and Ryan, I still believe in him. He's still the guy to lead this team because we need him to. But right now, we do have a problem, and it's because Carson isn't playing good enough. And that's a huge problem. Now, I agree that the problem isn't solely on him. I think a lot of it is because you're right. He looks scared. He looks skittish. He looks to not trust things. But if you were to take a snapshot like of that first interception, the tip ball, not one option on his throwing options is open. The only one that was maybe open was obviously Deshaun where he was going to, but if you look from another angle, and obviously it was tipped and intercepted, he wasn't open either. But not a single option was open for him to throw on that ball. And that's bad. That's bad design. That's bad execution. That's just bad everywhere because he needs an option. He needs somewhere to throw. And especially watching Monday night with, the Chiefs and even the Ravens, Lamar stinks, but their guys were open. Their wide receivers, their tight ends, they got open. And those throws are so much easier when they're open. And so, yeah, I mean, I do agree. We have a problem, but it has nothing to do with, Jalen Hurts is nipping at it. It has to do solely with Carson.
No, I mean, I get you. I'm with you in terms of playing better. Has to play better. But you're right in terms of there's plenty of times where like nobody's even close to getting separation. Yep. Nobody's open, and then your offensive line's banged up too. And you did no favors for him last week by running the football more. But guess what? That's no favors because Miles Sanders still isn't a guy right now coming back that can handle 30 carries. He'll be dead. He was already huffing and puffing in the fourth quarter already. Yep. So, but the problem is you have nobody behind him to put the football in the belly. So it's just a continuous cycle of like just not helping your whole team out. It's a joke. It's a flat out joke. But again, you're $100 million quarterback.
Yep.
I need you to start making some big time plays now.
You got to be that guy.
Yep. And I know he's trying to run to be that guy because he's like, screw it, I'll take over. You know what I mean? But I love that. Loving that out of him. Right? Mm-hmm. But I need you to be the guy. And gain trust with these guys, even if they all do stink.
I mean, and Aaron Rodgers, look at him Sunday night, right? He didn't have anybody to throw to. You know what I mean? Alan Lazard, yeah, sure he'd be a one on our end, but he was without Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? Like he was without his top end guys. So it's it's crazy.
Yeah, and year 5, you gotta get right. Year 5, you got to get there. To your point, year 5 is the year where you know what? Even if there's not enough around you, you got to just make plays. You got to make plays, but your defense could help you take the football away a couple times. That'd be fun.
Yeah. No, and Marcus, I completely agree with you, man. He needs help, but he also isn't playing good either. You know what I mean? You look at some of these other guys, and I'm not saying it's all on him. It's 100% on him, but he needs to make some of these guys look good as well.
No, he does, but these guys can help him look a little bit better too. I mean, listen, it's all on this whole offense as a whole. So, to the poll question, the Eagles have a QB problem. Agree or disagree? Whoever wants to go.
I'll go next here, Tommy. I'm gonna go and disagree, and I agree with you, Tommy.
He's got time to talk.
Yeah.
You get a 12-point lead. Gotta get comfortable.
So, but I'll disagree to the poll, but I do agree with you, Tommy, how there isn't a problem, but when you step on the field, you have to be the man for this football team. You have to be the guy. You have to show the production. And for these past 3 weeks, and even Ryan, you said it, week 1, it looked like he was MVP 2017 of him, right? He was throwing dimes, everything, and we were up 17-0. And then all of a sudden the second half comes and it's like, where's this dude going? I don't know where that happens. And I just think that the production needs to be better for him, and his decision making needs to be a lot better, because some of the balls he's throwing, and obviously the one to Miles on the sideline, that was way out of bounds, and he should have led Miles more inside than outside. It's like, Jesus Christ, what are you even looking at? And some of the interceptions.
One thing, most quarterbacks around the league have that or throw that ball 9 times a game because they have it open 9 times. Like
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So he gets one shot.
His ball placement has to be better. Coming throughout for the rest of the season. Has to be. And his decision making. Some of these interceptions you've seen throughout these 3 weeks are like, what did you see there?
Yeah,
he's throwing double coverage. He's throwing in double coverage, and obviously, I don't know what happened with the Ertz interception, where it seemed like he threw it right to Cincinnati, to the corner of Cincinnati.
He rushed it. He saw Old Reliable open. He's like, oh, I got to get him the ball real quick because the other. That's my only thing with Carson. It's that his decision making and the product that he's putting on the field has to be better for the rest of the season for this team to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and when he does get opportunities to have guys open, he's got to then hit. You know what I mean? Because you got to realize. But
it is also nice seeing him running and scrambling and making plays by himself when nothing's there, because then it gives you confidence. Like, okay, I can finally do this. The knee's not. I don't have to worry about the knee. Okay, I can make the spins now. I can make the jukes now without worrying about my ACL tearing again, which is awesome. But the decision making and what he's doing on the field, it just has to get better. Has to get better.
And if you do have that throw once a game, you got to hit it then. Maybe
what'd you say?
If you do have that throw once a game compared to other quarterbacks that probably have it open 5 times a game, the same route, you know what I mean? Then you got to hit on it. So then you just have to be more perfect with all your balls. And you're right. There's some passes like the Ertz one. That's a college throw. That's a college mistake, right? You're always outside shoulder there. That's either outside or you don't throw the football. I mean, you got a defender on the inside. You never come in, especially none of your receivers or tight ends are going to work
Back
back for the
shoulders
football.
type stuff. You know what I mean?
Zach Ertz isn't going to work back for the football and be physical and fight for the football. You have nobody on the roster so far besides like a tiny like Greg Ward sighting here or there where of anybody that like catches balls. Like seriously, outside of Ertz. Like, and then everything's just bad. Everything's bad around them. But I need you to be like Jordan Ash and like make Bill Cartwright look good. You know what I mean? Like make somebody guys look good. I need that. I need it. So to the poll.
And the thing, and basically the way you just said right there, what you did those last 4 weeks of the season last year, I need that for the rest of the year. And Ryan, you said it too. It's not, you can't build chemistry. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. You can't build chemistry when two of your wide receivers are always out every single game. Or in and out every single game.
And the other guy's a part-time player. I mean, and when he's on the field,
you can't build chemistry with Deshaun when he's banged up every game. There's no chemistry there.
I mean,
you can't build chemistry. You can't sell me that there's chemistry with Deshaun Jackson and Carson Wentz right now.
There's more chemistry with Alshon walking back on the field.
Yep. You think
after
so?
A week. Listen, I'm making a point. After a week of practice, there would be more chemistry walking into a game on Sunday than anybody on this damn roster right now. Than anybody on the roster, and that's how bad it is, right? Like maybe Greg Ward has a little more chemistry, but the production isn't there.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you build chemistry with your starting wide receivers when they're in and out of lineup every single week?
Jimmy's hurt. Sorry, Butler's hurt. I think.
What?
No, maybe he's not. Yeah, he is.
Oh my God.
He's really hurt.
Where's
Tory down. Tory down.
Hello, Darkness, part 11.
Yeah, hello, Darkness. Here we go.
I give up on life.
I saw that live. That didn't look good.
I was looking at his college jerseys today. That's how I broke my foot. Like that.
Ralph, I would like to congratulate you on the championship.
That sucks, dude.
No, that's broken.
Yeah, I'm sure you're real upset.
That's broken.
Nah, don't do that to me.
I'm telling you, I broke my foot playing basketball at a barbecue when I was like 21, and it went just for no reason. It went like that, broken, just like that.
This isn't good. I'm just gonna tell you guys that right now. It's not good for Jimmy.
All
right, to the poll. Corey, Frank.
Ladies first.
Okay. Now that I'm in a dark place. Okay.
Yeah, you're ready now. You're ready.
Now, okay.
Right where you should be here.
So I'm going to agree to the poll only because define problem. Our whole team is a freaking problem right now. I can't think of one like bright spot in our team. So yeah, I'm going to say the quarterback's a problem. But like I am the biggest Carson Wentz fan out there, so I'm still defending him to this day. Like I'll blame all of our losses on everything but Carson Wentz. But like you guys are saying, like I will still critique him. I think Ralphie said he's playing like, or somebody said he's playing like bad decision making. So that coincides with him overthrowing the ball, or it's mostly overthrowing it, but not throwing it accurately. And it's just great. Oh my God, sorry, I'm watching this game. It's just crazy the way.
You see that?
I guess you want to call it regression, but like I said last week, it's like in his head, everything that's going around him, plus nobody around him. I can't. So I do want to call it a problem. But only because it's a team-wide problem. It's not a Carson problem. It's our team's a freaking mess. Basically, I still have faith in Carson though.
All right.
Sorry, that Jimmy Butler freaking injury threw me off.
No.
I mean, there are probably worse things I've seen, like a Kevin Ware injury, but
you had to bring that up.
Yeah, well, you can't get Phil. Sometimes you can't run away from Phil even when you try to.
I haven't seen something like this until the Ryan Howard Achilles.
Oh, okay. What are we doing?
I know.
She really is in a dark place.
What are we doing?
Take us back to the worst part of the beginning of this misery with the Phillies. I mean, take us back to that point. I appreciate it.
Oh.
He's my light of my dark spot right now is Jimmy Butler. Like, I know Tom hates that, he hates people like rooting for Jimmy, but like in my life, that's the light I have.
I saw Kittle was back.
And did you see the light go off?
Yeah, and I'm a Jimmy guy, but yeah, I'm good. I mean, you just trash the entire time. So I mean, it's just the trashing to me is worn thin. Just go worry about the team you're on. And now worry about whatever snapped. So I don't know. Never wish that upon anybody. I'm not wishing that upon him ever.
He broke his foot, I bet. Calling it.
But yeah, I mean, Lone Revolver, Carson's mechanics are off. He'll solve 90% of his problems if you get his mechanics down. I mean, his mechanics ever been perfect, and he still makes throws. So I mean,
that is if he has an effective quarterback coach.
It's the mechanics plus his mental.
Yeah, I mean, Filippo was a big part of his success. I felt like I think we all did. That doesn't mean
Filippo, Reich. I mean, it's. I mean,
did anybody get a glimpse of Press Taylor the other day? I'm sorry, and he's a whole entire nerd. Like, you think Carson is listening to Press Taylor right now?
Would you listen to Press Taylor?
I mean, would you listen to a guy named Press?
Negative, and then you see his face. He looks like Matt Klentak.
Butler's staying in the game?
Yeah, it's halftime.
But via sham, Butler will stay in the game.
Because that's a leader.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I
don't know how long it'll last, but
I think it look good. I mean, I don't know what they're putting up in them, but that didn't look good. So
everything, Tom,
like,
everything. They're
like
putting everything.
Bloody sock game.
Another bone, like
yeah,
that didn't look right.
Frank.
I mean, for me to answer the poll, I disagree with the poll. It's more than just a quarterback issue. It's an identity crisis for the team. And you look at Carson. He's supposed to be the face of the franchise, and he's not been playing up to par. And he does deserve some criticism. Now, when it comes to benching Carson, it's still too early. I mean, Carson doesn't have that chemistry with his receivers. There's nothing around him. Like, the reason why he's failing is that just everything is going wrong. The play calling has been terrible. He has no true offensive coordinator. He's got Press Taylor, who's his best friend forever. Having somebody like John DeFilippo will hold him more accountable, at least get the mechanics down to get him back into that 2017 form. So for me, I don't know what this team is doing, in terms of what they're supposed to be doing on the field. Is this supposed to be a team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, or a team that's supposed to be going through a retooling when it comes to adding new players while keeping your Super Bowl guys? I don't know what's going on with this team. So for me, I disagree. And adjustments need to be made now before it gets too late.
No, absolutely, Frank. But one thing I'll say about bad play calling, you hear everybody talking about it, right? And it's bad play calling. But two things that can two things that you can do to overshadow some bad play calling is having talent.
Exactly.
So the routes look a lot better with talent. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel like Doug forgot how to call plays. I know these Nick Foles jabs want to come out today. Fuck out of here, please. Fuck out of here. Nick.
Hey, for the Eagles fans that still want Nick Foles, go buy a Chicago Bears jersey. Go hang out with the super fans and root for Da Bears and eat some weenies at the Wiener Circle. Just shove them hot dogs in your mouth and watch.
You guys are doing some real awkward things today.
Is that a sponsor? It
is now.
The Wiener Circle.
33-40, Rye. Just remember, 33-40.
Got it.
Oh, you're gonna do it. Yes.
Listen, all I'm saying is I don't, see, now I'm lost because we got Wiener talk going on here. where I was even at with. But I think
you're talking about talent for the play calling.
Your play calls look better if you got talent out there that can run routes. When you got a bunch of rookies or guys who can't play, this is what you get. And now it looks like, now Doug's stupid. Frank's the smartest guy in the room again. Here we go. What does Frank Reich won when he left here? I'm just asking for a friend. Like, talk to me when he wins a Super Bowl as his own head coach, if he's the biggest genius in the world. That's it. People leave, guys. People don't stay if you win a Super Bowl. That's what happens. Okay, we were actually lucky enough that we actually kept a D coordinator. You can say what you want about him, right? I know people out there saying Rasul Douglas can all of a sudden play, and it was all Jim Schwartz on why he couldn't play. We're 3 games in, and we're crowning Rasul Douglas. Okay, he stinks. But I digress on that one too. But so all I'm saying is I don't feel like the play calling would look better with talent, which is an indictment on Howie Roseman. I feel like the quarterback will look better throwing the football if he had guys open, which is an indictment on Howie Roseman. So everything circles back to, yeah, it is one guy, but these guys got to play better on the football field now. You know what I mean? There's can't make excuses for what the GM didn't do. You got to go get the job done now in the moment, and we can smoke the GM later.
Get some of these comments. There was a comment that was a good question earlier.
I want to know that Marcus comment about Carson never having a cheesesteak. Is that, if that's true, and then we're gonna have to have an intervention.
Yeah, why?
We're gonna have to have an intervention.
That can't be real.
That can't be real. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe that's real.
Marcus seems like a smart man.
DJ's World said, at what point is his confidence shot to the point of no return? For instance, get Jalen Hurts in there and he performs better with lack of expectations, like Herbert a week ago. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're comparing
Tyrod Taylor. I mean,
and also
Herbert's coming in for it. It's not a franchise quarterback that you're paying $100 million for. Dude, it's Tyrod Taylor. He's there as a stopgap, and you drafted Herbert to play. We're talking about that in the second round pick when your starter is $100 million quarterback. So a little different.
Matthew Spills, if a staff sees their guy throwing, going through something with his throws, why are we still throwing it 50 times a game? Adjustments could have salvaged a win or two out of these first few games for this. Well, that's what Doug is. Doug's gonna ride with his quarterback and say his quarterback's gonna save the day when he doesn't need to.
And then there'll be a point where he's gonna get into the running
game.
Yeah,
so you're tied in the game, and then you have no confidence in anybody.
Right.
Or when you're on like the 50, like the 50-yard line with 30 seconds left, and you need to get within like the 40 to get within field goal range, and you go run.
I really think Carson is a product of Doug. Like, I think it obviously Howie above Doug, but then Doug's playing different or coaching different this year. Like,
who's a product of Doug? Carson, you said?
Yeah.
Doug's done this every year the first 3 weeks. He gets pass happy, right? And then he starts to settle in. And he starts to get a little bit more to the balance side. You'll see they'll run the ball a lot this week. They'll start running the ball a lot more.
That's bullshit. Oh, he needs Lane Johnson to tell him on the sideline again to run the ball. Like, that's embarrassing.
Well, listen, we dealt with the same things with Andy Reid here, but all of a sudden when he went and got talent and a franchise quarterback, he's the smartest guy in the room again.
And now he's about to have 2 Super Bowl rings.
You know what I mean, though? Like, you get a lot smarter when you're surrounded by skill position players that can make plays. This is what we're missing. I'm all for crushing Doug for going for a tie, but I'm not going to start crushing him that he can't coach anymore. And like, here we go. Like, come on, I'm not gonna play that game because we can't give Carson the opt out of, well, there's no skill position players. It's bad, right? And then not give it to the head coach too. If you know what I mean. So we got to be fair in that sense.
I think
they're all a problem. They're all a problem right now.
Yeah, and the one thing I don't even know if I would disagree with Tom, but the one thing I would add, that's the difference between Doug and Carson, obviously, is you looked at what was working with Miles Sanders, and then you just go away from it. And I understand, like you said, that's what he does early in the season, but that doesn't make it right, especially when your quarterback's struggling like that.
But your quarterback can change any play at the line of scrimmage he wants. Any play. He has carte blanche to change anything. So as soon as we're quick to put it on Doug, I'm quick to point the finger at my quarterback, who all the good ones around the league change plays at the line all the time. All the time the good ones do. So Rodgers does it all day. Brady does it all day. They all do it. Sometimes they disguise it, just act like they're doing it, and they don't change anything. But the fact of the matter is he has carte blanche to do it in year 5. So the pass happy can also come from him a little bit too. You know what I mean? It could be a combo. Like, that's what I'm saying, to put it all on Doug. Like, he hasn't coached good enough.
No, it's not all on Doug.
Yeah, like I'm talking to the people out there saying fire Doug. I've seen fire Doug 3 times.
You're not firing him at all. No.
So I'm commenting.
But I'm saying, like, Doug's aura being different and not going for things when he normally would go for them, and he's seeming indecisive and not sure of himself. Maybe that whole persona is passing down to Carson, and Carson's acting the same way. Like, you don't know who he is right now, too.
Chrome's talking about Doc saying from what Woj is reporting, sounds like the job is his if he wants it, and he's the favorite. Only team I could see him considering is New Orleans to coach Zion. Yeah, well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no. But yes, let's go. So, I mean, Marquise is right. I mean, 47 pass attempts, right? 47 pass attempts for 220 is like spending $5,000 on a dinner date and getting a nude and then getting a nude. I mean, totally that's what you're getting. I mean, anybody's throwing the ball 47 times in this league is throwing for over 300 easy. Mm-hmm. That's another concern of your skill position players and everything around them, and him not playing well enough. I mean, it's all a circle. Like, does Doug got blame? Yeah, everybody's got blame when you don't play well. You know what I mean? Everybody does. This is a circle of blame. So we'll see where it goes from here. But I'm in no. I don't want to say rush because I'm not in a rush at all. Like, I was using the word rush to bench Carson Wentz right now.
Yeah, because it solves nothing. The only thing it does is for the people to say the only positive, quote unquote, and it's not even a positive for this season, is that you might be able to find out if Jalen Hurts has any talent whatsoever at the NFL level. But also then you also have the fallback, which is the organizational point of view, and that is he's not ready to begin with. So that's the only plus of putting him in. It's like, oh, can we see anything, a glimpse of what Jalen Hurts could be? But I'm again, no disrespect to the kid. I don't want to see what Jalen Hurts is, because if we find out what Jalen Hurts is, that means we failed with Wentz.
Yeah, well, it just means Jalen Hurts is going to run all around because nobody's open.
Mm-hmm. Especially, it's the hardest part of our schedule, too. Like, who wants to test that now?
I agree with that, Manny. I agree with that.
This football team's played terrible. But in the grand scheme of things, like, your season isn't over. Like,
you're half game back in the East. I mean, it's one of those years where
statistics of people making the playoffs that started off the way we did.
No, absolutely. But what I'm trying to say to you is this has always been a better November, December team. Now they can't continue to lose games. Yeah. They got to start to put some wins together. I'm just saying your season's not over. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying your season as players and coaches is far from over. I mean, you control your own destiny. You really do. You play everybody again above you. So you control your own shit. So, you want to get it right and be a playoff team, you can get it right and be a playoff team. Doesn't look good. That's going to be
Lamar Jackson.
Monez, what does New England do different? They they were expected to be a sub 500 team, and they're 3-1. Well, are they 3? No, they're 2-1. But semantics. I'll take 2-1. Not a freaking tie. With no wide receiver, tight end, and okay running backs. Also, you look at they lost half of their defense. Are they cheating all the damn time? What is it about them that we can't replicate or any team? Bill Belichick.
Well, I'll tell you one. Bill Belichick, and you got a quarterback that is pissed off. So you say whatever you want about Cam Newton. He's pissed off.
Love Cam Newton.
I mean, disrespected, pissed off, and hasn't played well in the last couple of years, but banged up. But he's mad. He came with an agenda.
He's going to come back for.
And he looks to be healthy.
Yeah, and he's healthy and he's physical, and we know the things he does well on why he took a team to the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's part of it, and part of it is to say he has no wide receivers. I mean, they got a good running game, right? They got skill position players out backfield. Julian Edelman is just always wide open. I mean, who on this roster even compares to that?
Nobody.
No one.
They did lose a lot, and they shouldn't be 2-1. It's crazy, but with
a chance to be 3-0, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the advantage of having Bill Belichick too. I mean, he's a go for a reason.
Who did they play this week?
Who does who play this week? The Patriots.
I felt like it was a good game this week, but I can't remember who they're playing. Let me say.
I'm not sure. My one, and I don't know if it's a concern because this is just
Chiefs.
This is just what I'm seeing. Oh, they're playing the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. This is just based off of what I'm seeing. We're obviously not in the room here, but I completely agree with you, Tom, to where you look at a determined, motivated Cam Newton that's pissed off and he feels disrespected. And again, I'm not saying factually that Carson isn't that, but we're seeing no signs of that. Like, if anything, Carson should be even more, disrespected and pissed off because they drafted his replacement instead of getting help. You look at, years and years of just being disrespected and replaced and looking past. Where's the fire there? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't get the people are like, oh, he's fired up because he's slamming helmets. Okay, good. That means you're not Donovan, and you're not smiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But to me, you if anything, and again, this is just an assumption. It seems like what it is. He doesn't look like the motivated, pissed off type of guy, and maybe that's just because he's kind of handcuffed because of the lack of weapons. Or like, you know what I'm saying? But then you look at it to where there's some bad throws being made to whoever's on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like we can blame some of it on just lack of weapons and him pushing and pressing. But some of the throws are just bad throws and bad decisions.
Very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Very bad.
It's
one of those go for the jugular plays, and they've missed horribly.
But it's also like they're trying to make Carson into, like, it looks like he's trying to stop himself from being his natural self. Like, his natural self is running and whatnot. And, like, when you stop somebody from doing what they do naturally, people kind of struggle. Like, if you think about that in life in general, people kind of struggle and they're behind. And that's what I see from him. And I think that's why he's overthrowing, and that's why he's looking skittish and scared, is because he's trying to change his own pattern.
I'll ask you guys this because somebody asked it to me earlier, and I think this goes perfectly into the Carson Wentz thing. I think it even addresses the Carson haters and the people who want Hurts and friggin' Nicky Foles or Trevor Lawrence to come here. And I was asked this earlier, and I wanted to ask you guys. And I know it's tough because we're going back a while here, and we know obviously how Carson Wentz has looked the first 3 weeks. But in this scenario, so because everyone is now talking about obviously. And again, it's hindsight 2020. Why did we extend Carson for those 5 years? Why did we do it when we didn't have to? All that stuff. And again, it's a stupid argument because it happened. You can't help it. And we were all praising it at the time because it was going to push the teams like Dallas and the Rams and the teams that followed to pay more for their quarterbacks, and which that happened. So.
And it was the smart move at the time, especially with the CBA that's coming up. The market for quarterbacks was going to get high, so you had to make the deal as early as you can.
So we all agree with that. So we know our stance. But in the perspective of the people who believe they shouldn't have done that, okay, and under the scenario to where he would have played all last season under that 5th year, he's not extended. He's basically playing for the contract, okay. Everything plays off the way it does to where he has the poor first half of the year, the awesome second half, and then the injury in the playoff game. My question to you guys is, if you're Howie Roseman, what do you do? Would you have extended him?
Yeah, I would.
So.
I
think
have
so
to.
because
you still extend them.
I think if you're Howie, you would have seen that injury of being like a freak hit, right? It's again, when we go back to people who think he's injury prone, it's an outside of the box injury. It's not his leg again. It's not his back. You know what I mean? It's not a reoccurring injury that's happening, right? It was a cheap hit. It was a concussion. For the most part, everybody comes back from a concussion, right?
Yeah.
So I think after that season, the rally that he did the last half of the year, and the unfortunate part of the injury at the end, I think he still would have extended him just based off of he played a full year, and we saw the potential. The 2017 guy essentially was back. I think the extension would have came.
Real quick before I get everyone else's answer. Kyle Cap, hey A2D crew, what's with you guys and the love for Doug and Wentz? They've been bad to 20. Number one, Kyle, appreciate you. Grow some ears because every show, even on the damn hockey and wrestling show, we've been crushing both of them. I don't know where the love affair, I don't know where that exists. We spent the first 51 minutes crushing this entire team, led by a quarterback and a coach. So love you, but I don't know. Maybe there's a different signal that's like it's like opposite day on your feed, but there's no love affair. There's not. You look at a situation where, sorry to disappoint you, we're not firing the coach and we're not trading the quarterback. There's a thing called a cap hit, and there's a thing called, what are you firing the coach for right now? As much as we think we're pissed off with him, who's the guy that's going to step in and save the season right now? Deuce? Jim?
I hire an offensive coordinator before I fire Doug.
We should have hired an offensive coordinator last offseason.
Yes.
But like, that's something to do before you fire Doug.
And personally, it should have been, you could have brought back John DeFilippo, to hold Carson more accountable at this point.
So Greg, I agree with you. Ralph, would you have extended him in that moment?
Yeah, I would. You still extend Carson Wentz, and going back on Greg's point, it wasn't like a knee injury, it wasn't the back injury, it was that the hit to the head, which happens sometimes in the NFL, but it wasn't the knee this time, it wasn't the back, but what he did those last 4 weeks of the NFL season last year, would have granted him a new contract either way. Even if he didn't get hurt in a playoff game, I think that still would have guaranteed him a contract either way.
Real quick, breaking news for everybody, and people may have seen Tom left. He'll be back in a minute. He's got a cricket situation. He's under attack. So
Talk about Doc Rivers.
Wait, I thought it was Doc Rivers too.
No. I would have hit the sounder. I would have gone.
Wait, how about a little bit ago? I saw Tom looking to the side, and I was like,
he's under attack.
I swear he's eyeing up a cricket right now.
Yeah, so
it could be worse with me. It could be some pretty butterfly flying, and I could be running off screen.
I don't know, Frank. You're not helping yourself. I'm
not helping myself either.
So for anyone who was wondering, Tom will return. He's under attack by the crickets. He's making his way to a separate location where it might be safe.
He's going into a bunker.
And I really wish we could have gotten the camera on him, like studio cam, of him freaking the hell out.
Yep.
Wait, I swear to God, I saw him eyeing something up, but I was like, yeah.
As soon as he put his screen up, which usually he doesn't go to until like hour 5.
Right.
I'm like, something is happening over there.
I thought it was something on my end because I went to go mute my mic for a little bit, and then I see him disappear. I'm like, I thought I accidentally kicked him out. But
Tom to the bunker.
I'm glad that he's taking care of his cricket situation right now.
So I want to. Yeah, that's true. Don. He's fighting.
But I was really excited though because I really thought it was a Doc Rivers.
No, I would have been freaking out.
Yeah, it was just Tom's getting attacked by a cricket again.
Yes. So it's not really breaking. It's like a continuation of the last 3 weeks. This is why I want to.
Crickets are harmless.
To some. Listen, if there was a cricket in here, what is this?
I'm in.
I'll do it. Listen, he'll run the football. The cricket will run the football.
If it was a snake, I'd be running. But a cricket.
Oh, dude, I'm out. I'm burning everything. I'm burning the house to the ground. If I saw it.
Yeah, for sure. No, like a cricket, like let it live.
I want to ask you guys this in the fam at home, okay? And I know it's a real difficult mental exercise because there's not many to choose from. Everyone at home and then people in the chat, chime in the chat below, and we'll read them off as always. All your questions and comments. Give me your top 2, and maybe if you have 3, give me 3. Your top 2 to 3 positives from the first 3 weeks of the Eagles season. And Ralph, you can't say the Lakers are in the finals. That doesn't.
Well, we're doing Eagles. So I mean,
Sweeps.
so you're
Sweeps crickets as well.
Gotcha, Sweeps. So whoever wants to dive in first.
Top 2
two positives to take away from the first 3 weeks of Eagles football.
I'll go. Darius Slay's very good.
Yeah.
The rest of the secondary outside of him is not.
but hey, I mean, he's not getting burnt like toast, so I'm glad with that.
Darius Slay is the guy we thought he was.
Yep.
And that's evident by you look at like AJ Green was kind of shut down. Terry McLaurin, had some catches but was shut down. Right. Yep. So and again, this is the NFL. They want the pass happy. So, wide receivers are going to get the calls and going to get the balls. But Darius Slay is what he is.
I see what you got. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
After game 1, I liked what I've seen from the revamped offensive line for the most part. Right?
Herbig's solid.
Yeah. When he moved back to the guard.
He's still getting the kinks worked out, but he's been playing well. Especially
He's
for a guy who's been on and off the practice squad, been a healthy scratch I guess the last 2 seasons. But he's still
2 guys just got arrested in the Cleveland game.
Yeah.
2 guys got arrested in the Cleveland game, by the way. I think they snuck into the stadium.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
What?
We've got an invasion.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously,
I would just pretend to be a cutout.
Peters got abused on Sunday, so that wasn't fun. But for the most part, though, after week 1, the offensive line has been improved.
Well, that was your 2. That was your 2.
Oh, I thought we had to go 3 because
we'll do 2. We'll do 2. It's been a long 3 weeks of football. We'll just do 2.
Yeah, because Greg, the only reason why I don't want to go 3, and I'm going to do it all,
there's not
because I feel like if you do 3, you took all of it. You took all
pretty
of it.
much.
Real quick, I'll go to the.
Can I go next?
Sure, Ralphie, you can go next, buddy. By the way, DJ's World, that's probably the best positive of the season. First half of the Washington.
Yeah.
Up until the interception.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
Well, there was my answer right there. I was going to be Slay and Sanders.
Original.
For the 2 positives for me, Slay and Sanders. I mean, Miles, whenever he's been running so far, whenever he gets the ball to run, only touch the ball seems like five times a game when he runs the ball. Yeah. Well, I mean, after that, he showed back up. He was running. But after that, Miles has been running really, really well. And then obviously, like you said too, Greg, Darius Slay, man, it's amazing that you could just forget about him and just let him go in a corner and let him on the island and let him do what he wants to do, whatever he wants to do. But then yet again, like you said, everything around him is just slop. Yep. The rest of the secondary is still a work in progress.
And what was the comment before? Just had Greg Ward.
Greg Ward and Darius Slay.
Yeah, Andrew. I mean, I like what Greg Ward's done, but so far it's only been 1 game, right? He was kind of missing the other 2 games.
It's more than any other receiver, though.
No, I completely agree. We saw more flashes. We saw, a guy actually catch a couple balls. So I'm in. I just wish to that point, though, I wish it was more often.
Listen, I mean, and again,
we're picking at we're grasping at straws here.
Yes, I will preface this by saying I'm not happy that I'm saying this, but my Greg Ward leading the receivers in touchdowns for the season prediction is looking really good right now, and I don't like that. That's bad. That's very bad. We got some more here. Number 1, Sanders. Number 2, Slay. Number 3, Elliott. But Elliott didn't get a chance. So I guess we're going off of if Elliott would have kicked. And you watch, he says Elliott, and Elliott's going to be a disaster on Sunday. If he actually gets the opportunity to kick. Gavin, Jimmy G playing this Sunday night or no?
He didn't practice today.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
I don't even know.
Kittle is in, though.
Kittle and Deebo Samuel are in.
So
and Nick Mullins, I believe in enough, especially against our defense. So
and Miles Sanders is questionable. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Tori, for reminding me. I figured I'll give you the since everyone's so excited every week that we do this, I'll give everybody the Wednesday, September 30th Eagles injury report. And get comfortable.
Do we have enough time?
I do agree with Marcus.
Yes.
Wentz is healthy, not playing well, but he's healthy. Bonus. And Josh Sweat, in his time, has been very good.
The sad thing is, and actually, Marcus, those were my 2. It depends on who you're talking to, because some people would say the positive is Wentz is healthy, and some people would say the negative is that Wentz is healthy. You know what I mean? For all those Jalen Hurts people. So here's the injury report as of this afternoon. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside did not participate due to a calf, which I find – anyone else find it ironic that he was limited and nobody even used him last week when he had a lower body discomfort, and Darius Slay played awesome with what looked like a broken friggin' arm?
Yeah.
Anyone put those two together?
What about last week when they were like, J-Jaw is going to be like our biggest offensive weapon?
It's more lies, Tori. It's more lies.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. But it's irking my soul. It's lies. You sit on a throne of lies.
I'm going to steal that. That's going to be a meme. It's going to be Doug Peterson whenever he speaks. And then that.
Yes, agreed.
You got Jamon.
Sweat over Barnett.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Which sucked, though, because another first-round pick, you missed him.
Yep, it's going to be out the door, basically, Greg.
And another guy we could have traded. We could have traded him. There was offers for him this offseason.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the darkness. Jamon Brown.
Wait. How about this?
What?
This comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, Marcus?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Straight up time.
I have a feeling there's – yeah.
I love it.
Jamon Brown illness doesn't really matter because we don't see him. He did not participate. Fletcher didn't participate due to an abdominal injury. Jack Driscoll with an illness did not participate. Rudy Ford with a groin injury did not participate. Deshaun Jackson with a hamstring injury did not participate. Being a part-time player. Let's see. Avonte Maddox did not participate with the ankle. He'll probably be out for 2 years, knowing us. Jason Peters with an illness. What's with all these illnesses? I mean, what are they? Joel Embiid now?
What is the illness?
There he is.
Back.
How's the cricket?
It's annoying, dude.
Let's see the wounds.
It's ridiculous. It's just too loud. You can't concentrate.
Cricket wounds.
I just switch it up.
Then you got – so those are all the people who didn't participate, along with Trevor Williams, who's supposed to be our cornerback 2. And all of a sudden he's got a rib injury. And then limited was Alshon, Lane, Jason Kelsey, and Miles.
Lane?
That's fine.
The fuck?
Yeah.
It's just too much.
I'm all right with Lane because I know he's playing.
But can we have a, like, what's it called when Joel Embiid doesn't play in basketball?
DMP.
Load management?
Load management. Can we have a load management list, though?
Yeah, it's called Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, like, can we just have that as a separate list? I don't like this. Like, let's say, like, a thumb fingernail injury. Like, just say load management. Stupid.
Cameron, thanks for that reminder.
Yeah, remember when Howie Roseman drafted Derek Barnett over T.J. Watt and Tre'Davious White? Good times. Oh yeah, Tom, I wanted to get your opinion on this.
Let's recall all these memories.
Do you agree with Andrew at this point?
No. What's proven that? And what has he done to prove that he's better than Barnett? I mean, I didn't think Derek Barnett played bad the other day. I mean, Josh Sweat doesn't stop the run as well as Barnett. It's not even close. So, I mean, okay, he's a good pass rusher. You get after the quarterback. Good. I think he's good in situational roles. And, like, everybody wants to, like, put somebody ahead of somebody when, like, their best role might be, hey, right where they're at. One, because of injury concerns. And two, just because, okay, what have you done? You're not Javon Curse yet. You know what I mean? Like give me more of a sample size. And what has Derek Barnett done? I'm not saying he's done a ton, but he is a Super Bowl champion. That has made big plays for this football team. So, you know, that's that.
Where are you in the bathroom? You do look like it.
No, I'm not in the bathroom at all.
He's in a safe location.
He's in a bunker.
He's in a cricket safe location.
Yeah, I'm just inside, people. Just inside.
I'm inside people. Okay.
I mean, that's it. I mean, if Jimmy's from a safe room, this is pretty much similar to a safe room.
It does look like a bunker.
This is a weird room. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why. Who?
Yeah, it looks like it's your medicine cabinet behind you, and you're on the toilet.
That's a door. All right, everybody good now? Everybody back? We're all good?
Very strange room.
Very strange room. All right, I can't speak for stuff that's built in 1915. Like what people come up with is their safe rooms. But I'm annoyed because I can't watch baseball right now. You know what I mean? The cricket's ruined.
Because of a cricket.
No, 2 of them were going I don't care. I've killed plenty of them.
2.
I can't hear. I can't listen. It's coming through my headset so loud that I'm like, is this on my lap? Like,
we need an exterminator.
Right from the beginning. Well, where's Romeo's termite and pest control at?
Yeah, tell me.
I mean, Rome, I've been hitting you up if you're listening at all.
If anyone's listening, we have a cricket problem.
We need a spritz. We need a spritz over
Panic
here.
room.
Yeah, Pop says you're in the panic room.
Feels like it. Because like now,
that's what it feels like this season.
Well, everything's wrong right now. Usually I can hear myself through my own mic. Now I don't even know if I'm even coming through. I have no idea. So, well, listen, we're back.
Can we get the cricket on a little screen next to us?
No, because that would mean it's in my house.
It is.
I'll avoid that.
Let's see. Jeffrey says, should the Eagles start Kevon Wallace at safety and move Jalen Mills to corner?
For what? I think Kevon Wallace
Jalen Mills to the bench.
I think Kevon Wallace get blown up the other day. So for all the Dawkins talk, Dawkins never got blown up by anybody his entire career here. And Kevon Wallace was on his back. And that's fine. That's fine. Guys get blown up. But he shouldn't be like, you know. I just don't understand the reasoning for it. You know what I mean? There's no reason for it right now.
Well, unless you know, Williams can't play, you're already down Maddox, you know what I mean, and you just need that extra body out there to play cornerback, right? You know what I mean? That would be maybe his thought process, you know, for a game. You know what I mean?
And I think the only time you would move Jalen Mills back to corner and do and put Wallace as a safety is if you have an injury problem at the cornerback position, where you're down your 2 guys and you can just move Jalen back to corner for at least for a week or so.
I mean, I agree, Marcus. It's not great, but
yeah, I mean, like, listen, we actually like things in front of them, and now we're gonna flip flop back and forth and stuff. Like, that's not a recipe for success. Like, you know what I mean? Like, leave him where he is. You guys told us the cornerback position was fine. Mm-hmm. You guys released 2 corners, so you told us it was fine. So now it's on you. Yeah,
releasing Rasul and Sidney kind of told us that they were comfortable with that position, and I totally agree with you, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean
that they were comfortable with what was on the field at that time. But right now, ain't looking too good. Outside of Slay, ain't looking too good.
No, and you know, Avante can't cover anybody, me or you. So I mean, the best thing for our football team was him going down for a minute. And cause I tried telling people he couldn't play the outside, but nobody wants to listen, and that's fine. And here we are. And Trevor Williams actually didn't play bad on Sunday. I mean, I almost would rather have Trevor Williams on the outside. So hopefully he can play Sunday. Yeah, he might have 300 yards receiving. Kittle.
You're muted.
You're muted, Rye.
I don't know why that did that. Am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back? I've been talking to myself for the past like 20 minutes. That's what
I do all the time.
Thanks.
So Pop chiming in. What's the game plan for Sunday? What needs to happen? I know a whole lot, but where can we expose San Fran? Running the ball on offense and getting 8 sacks again. Trying to figure out what we can do in a must-win. Well,
I'll tell you what. If the running game is working, if the running game is working, please don't go away from it, because Doug Pearson has tendencies to do that, where Miles is having a great game running the ball, and then all of a sudden he just goes away from it and becomes pass happy. So I mean, if you're running the ball, and obviously the 49ers are banged up on their defensive line with Bosa and Solomon Thomas out for the year, so they're banged up a little bit. So if you can run the ball effectively on Sunday, please don't go away for it. That's all I ask.
Please. Yes.
Yeah, you can't go away from it.
Yeah.
Bring in my brother's keeper. Earl Thomas can help. I think at this point, we'd all take him.
Yeah, but I think he's going. They're saying that he might go to the Texans.
Yeah,
They said no.
Oh no, not anymore. Okay.
Frank, before you roll, you got a score, Frank?
Yes. Give me the Eagles with an upset, 20-17.
There we go.
Players of the game?
Player of the game, giving me to Stella because this guy's going to have his groove back. Give me Carson. I think Carson will try to get his groove back. And on the defense, give me Brandon Graham.
Very nice, Frank.
All right.
Very nice. I don't agree, but very nice.
It's okay to not agree. That's why it's called A2D in the first place. And on that note, goodbye.
See you, Frank.
Bye, Frank.
Bye, Frank. See you, Frank.
Jeffrey says, what do you guys think is going to happen if Carson does bad again? We'll lose?
We'll lose, and then we'll have the same discussion next Wednesday.
Well,
the line gets longer at the Walt.
Yeah.
It gets longer. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try something. Hold on a second. So you guys talk about yourselves.
Okay. Let's see. Chi said.
And then there were 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Chi, absolutely. I mean, I think there was one point where Sanders was averaging 10 yards a clip, 10 yards a carry, or 7 yards a carry, or something. And but I do agree with Tommy though. Towards the end of the game, he looked gassed, which again goes back to everything that we've said all off season with the construction of this team and the running back room is you needed somebody else. You needed somebody else. It didn't matter who it was. And then you look, obviously, AP's tearing it up in Detroit.
Leonard Fournette's like the
Leonard Fournette's,
awesome.
Has a resurgence with Tom Brady. Devontae Freeman's up 95 now. So, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered who. Just a veteran that could eat up carries because obviously it shows that Miles just isn't a 30 carry back yet, and that's fine. I don't need him to be. But you just need somebody you can trust behind.
The fact that they said in year 2, after Miles only really played for about 6, 7, 8 games tops as the top running back after obviously Jordan Howard got hurt, for him to say, and I get it, we love it when you say that you believe in your guys, even though that 99% of the time you're dead absolutely wrong. We like it because if you say you believe, that gives us excitement. When we shouldn't have excitement, but we had excitement. We talked about it literally as he was saying it way back in the spring. You don't need to say in the second year of a second round pick, we believe you're Westbrook and McCaffrey combined into one player. Like for him to say, we believe he could be our Christian McCaffrey, who's the best running back in the league, arguably, and Westbrook is Brian friggin' Westbrook. Again, nobody's saying that Miles can't eventually be something close to that. Listen, I had him getting close to, 1,900 total yards this season. So I believe in him. We all believe in him. But with all of the projected turnover that we've seen, both because of injuries and because of guys like Quez Watkins and John Hightower and Jalen Reagor being more of an importance in the offense, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, Miles is our guy, but there's a thing called insurance. And if anyone's who's trying to say that the insurance are the guys that are the names of Boston Scott and Corey Clement, then I'm sorry. We're just either from Glassboro or we're fans of the Boston Scots. And again, they're Boston Scott's good in like small, different change of pace, like little screen running play. Sure. Corey Clement, I don't think is anything good except for highlight packages from 2017 Super Bowl. But like we talked about, there's nothing wrong with going out and spending $1.1 million for Adrian Peterson, $1.3 million for Leonard Fournette, $1.5 million for Devontae Freeman. There's nothing wrong with that.
Especially the way you had your roster compiled and constructed, where you knew this was kind of not necessarily your last window, but you knew you were going to have to cut salary after this year in some way, right? So what would have 1 year deal with any of those guys hurt?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Don, he says, are y'all doing the spread at the end of the game? Yes, we are doing week 4 NFL game predictions against the spread at the end. We're also doing Sixers with the Doc Rivers rumors and obviously Phillies at the end as well. Anthony Atis says, what's wrong with Huntley? I don't know. They realize he's not very good. I don't know. I mean, he's a healthy scratch. I mean,
he's an undrafted free agent. Not that they can't be good, but 32 teams passed on him 7 times.
Was he undrafted or was he a 5th rounder? Not that there's that much of a difference.
I thought he was undrafted.
It wouldn't surprise me, Greg, because 2 out of the 3 starting running backs are undrafted guys. Corey Clement and Boston Scott. I mean, look at that. I mean, how does that not concern the organization? Isn't that a little concerning, Ralph, where you look at it and 2/3 of your running back core is undrafted?
Well, I mean, and look at the year that the running back class in that, what was it, the 2017 draft class, correct? That Covenant running back class where it seems like everybody that picked that running back, it was a 5th rounder.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like that running back class from that draft just comes back and haunts us because it seems like every running back that was picked on that draft night is either with their team right now and playing well, right? And then you look at the Eagles and it's like, well, shit. we got Miles Sanders and then Boston Scott, but like you were saying, right? It seems like Boston Scott is more of a guy that can just set up the screens and catch the ball out of the backfield here and there, but he's not going to be like a guy like Miles that you can give the ball 15 to 20 times a game.
And the problem
also sucks. Oh, my bad, Greg. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead and finish.
And then it also sucks that, going into the year, we were sitting here all offseason saying that we need another running back. And then Freeman goes to the Giants, and then AP gets released, and we're like, okay, well, maybe we just take a shot on AP, see what happens. If it goes bad, we just cut him, But then he goes to Detroit, and then his first game with Detroit, I think he almost had 100 yards. Which is insane. But it just sucks knowing that after Miles, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not great, it's not good, it's okay.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, Ralph, is you're right. With Boston Scott, change it back, screen out of the backfield. But as of right now, our offensive line, we can't set up screens. Everything gets blown up.
That's another problem too, Greg. You can with Boston Scott, he's more of a guy. He's a guy like that. But your offensive line at this point right now in the season is really, really bad. So can you do stuff like that?
Yeah.
To help to help Boston out a little bit. Because it seems like every time you run a screenplay for Boston, it either gets blown up or it doesn't even work out.
And then the flip side, you watch the Saints run a screen to Kamara, and you have offensive linemen that are running faster than him, and he takes it to the house.
Yeah. Like the one play, the one play last Sunday night.
A little different too.
Where he broke up 4 tackles. He broke up 4 tackles on a little dunk pass. You know what I mean? And he takes it to the house. And it's like, well, why can't we do none of this stuff? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll take 10 yards. I'll take 10 yards.
It's like watching a different game. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're back, Don.
Yeah, gang's back, everybody. Let's see here. We have a question from Cameron. I know Tom will enjoy this question. Do you guys think Quez Watkins can be a number 1 wide receiver?
No.
Well, he's on practice squad, correct? Still?
No, he's probably going to be playing this week.
Well,
really?
Well, let's find out how good he is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, nobody else can get open, so maybe he can get open a little bit. But can he be I'll be a number 1? I mean, like, I would bet my house that he'll never be a 1. So, I mean, that answers
what,
the question.
Our number 1?
Yes. Or a 1 period. Our number 1, somebody else's number 1.
Who's our number 1 this weekend?
Greg Ward.
Yeah. So I'd say this weekend there's an opening for a number 1.
I mean, there's an opening. I mean, that's now you're telling me he's filling it.
I mean, there's no Tori. I mean, honestly, and I don't disagree with you. I mean, there's an opening for just somebody to catch the football. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody who catches the football twice is technically our number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
And lasts his entire game.
Yeah. So I'd say yeah.
Let's
So
see.
you're still on hold on. You're still on you're still on with Quez. You and Quez are on the that he could be a 1. That's a
I think I could be a 1 on Sunday. So yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. I love the confidence, more confidence than any of our wide receivers. So
You know me, I'm positivity over here.
You'll have a contract in the mail, okay? You'll have a contract in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Quez. Obviously he's got the speed and he can do things, but I look at the size, 6 foot. It's a little small for a true number 1. You know, I would love a 6'4" spot, 6'6" spot, but you know,
Don, I love you, and I'm not taking that on you, Don, because I've seen it probably a million times in the last day. He's been on his 3rd team in 2 weeks. I get it.
Team in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Wow.
I get it. Somebody said he looks like LeBron James. Marcus said he looks like LeBron. He's a monster. He's like a tight end, wide receiver. Okay. If you wanted that, then why didn't you draft a kid in Pittsburgh that's lighting it up? You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Chase Claypool?
Yeah. Even has a good name and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tommy with the names. He's got a good name.
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about Akeem Butler coming in and being our savior now. All right.
I mean, if he has a catch, then yeah, I mean that's a start. So I don't have to see Richard Rodgers on the field, even though Richard Rodgers didn't look bad. Even Richard had a couple catches. That's how bad it's got. But no, I can't. I won't go steal territory until maybe he has at least 2 touchdowns, if he even gets to that. Give me 1 touchdown and maybe we'll talk.
Yeah, I mean, if that.
I work with a catch.
I'll take it.
Maybe a big one, can we meet in the middle, a big catch at least, not just a catch, just the biggest one in franchise history, maybe. I don't know.
So this is a great question. He says, so what do you all do before the trade deadline? What do you give up and for what? So is that are we a buyers or sellers thing?
That's what I was going to say.
Well, if it continues the way it's going now, I'll sell. I ain't buying. I'll sell some pieces to get some more assets.
I give up J-Jaw for 3 cardboard cutouts.
I don't even know if you'll get that. I
need 3.
How about we take an umbrella as a counter offer?
Well, I'll ask you guys this, and
I think there's a way you can do both, right? I think there's always ways you can do both. You know what I mean? You could shed contracts if you have to, and you can get back young, unproven talent, right? That maybe need a change of scenery, right? And that way you counterbalance that.
You can do it too.
Now let me ask you this, Greg.
You acquire picks.
Okay, go ahead, Tommy.
Right? Well, no, I mean, I'm saying you acquire picks. You even though you're shedding contracts at the same time, so you're acquiring picks or you're acquiring young talent back. So I mean, then you got to trust the guy who's obviously making all the picks. But in terms of being able to still be able to compete in a quick period of time, you still can allow yourself to do that, right? I mean, because you have to factor in that people assume that your draft this year was good. If you ask all the Eagles draft experts out there, and I air quote that. So, I mean, people tell you that their draft was good this year. I don't buy that, but people buy it. So then you have young talent now, and then you would get more back in your picks next year. Because if you're bad, you're going to have a high pick anyway, high pick in the second round as well. So then you can acquire more back. Maybe you get a first for a guy like Fletcher. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing the guy out there. That has value to him. Maybe you get, if you do trade Ertz hypothetically, maybe you're getting a second and a 4th back. I'm just throwing shit out there, right? And then now it's really up to you drafting to construct the roster that can compete. So then you got to really put a lot of emphasis on the guy drafted and saying, well, do I trust this son of a bitch? So I know where I stand on it. So then he's got to go back to the effing closet, and somebody else has to come back. Joe Douglas, you got to triple his money. Yeah, but I don't think he didn't even draft well here. So nobody's drafted well here, really. So I think you have to go outside your organization to find somebody up and coming, and go in that direction just for a fresh voice, some fresh thoughts. And it doesn't even mean to be firing Howie Roseman. It can just bring in somebody who handles your draft. He can still handle your cap. He can still construct your roster in terms of trades, free agency, because I think there's things he does well too. But he just cannot touch your draft. Simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd
pluck anybody from Baltimore in their player development or in their scouting department.
Dude, I'll take 97-year-old Ozzie Newsome at this point. Like,
sign him up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give him like a free agent legend contract.
By the way, I guess we've got Carson in the chat. So now he's the snitch on Alshon now. He says Alshon was never a true number one. He was a 2/number 3.
We always thought.
Oh, he was 2/3 of a number one. Never had blazing speed.
Yeah, but he was in his prime. His body was there, and he caught the football.
Sure-handed.
That all to me is a number one.
Hold on. I'll go do this just because I want to confirm, right? But you are talking about a guy who I believe caught over 80 passes at least once. Hold on, I just want to pull up his exact stats over his career because somebody's going to tell me he wasn't a number one throughout his whole career. Are you freaking kidding me? Is this real life stupidity that he wasn't a one? So here we go.
2013, 2014, he had 89 and 85. And then he was last few years with the Bears where he was injured. He was at, mid-50s. And then with us, 57, 65, and 43 last year. Again, injured. But 57 with us in 2017, 800 yards, 9 touchdowns.
But look at the
2017?
Yeah.
Jesus, 9 tutties.
Yeah, but that's a difference maker. Like in 2014,
yeah, 9
Bears,
touchdowns to one wide receiver in a year like that. That's
yeah. 2013 with the Bears, he was 89, 1,407. 2014 with the Bears, he was 85, 1,110.
Yeah, that's a big year right there. And then he came here and exactly like we want to. First off, in 2018, we want to take 2018's performance right now from somebody. 65 and 843. I mean, we still don't have guys over 1,000. You know what I mean?
No.
So because obviously his got determined by not being healthy the whole time. Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean? So we have nobody out there over 1,000. But yeah, I mean, he's not going to be the sole answer to it because Carson's just got to play better. You know what I mean? Carson's got to play better.
Right. Yeah, he has to. I definitely agree on that. He has to play better.
I'll ask you guys this. Who do you guys believe, and Fam and Home chime in on this too, who do you guys believe is the most realistic, how do I phrase this, like the best asset that's also realistic to trade? Like who do you think is our best player that's going to get the best return via trade, and who's also a realistic trade candidate? You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. I mean, if you're telling me, like, hold on, pump the brakes, because if you're telling me Carson is on a trade block, he gets you your most value. No. I'm not saying. I'm saying
no. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, if he's on the trade block, then he's going to get you your most value per se. Now, the next best guy, in my opinion, value wise, is probably Fletcher Cox.
Yep. I don't think Carson gets the most value just because of the contract. You know what I mean? I think if you're going to get a team to eat his contract, I think you're not going to get a whole lot of value back.
What about the contract for Fletcher?
Yeah, but at least you're getting production with Fletcher. Right now, you're getting a whole lot of unknown with Carson. If you trade him right now.
Are we getting production from Fletcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Probably more than we've gotten from Carson.
Well, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. And while we hammer him, he's obviously made the Pro Bowl every year, so his value around the league is very high as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we hammer him because we see him every week and we see the disappearing acts that he has. But his value around the league is still super high that he would get us our best return.
For me, realistically wise, is probably, to me it would be Derek Barnett. Realistically wise, if we keep on going the way we are,
I could see him get chipped out. Value?
No, not even the most value, just a realistic person to be traded if the time does come.
See, I don't even think he's a realistic guy to be traded now. To be honest, because he's not good. Because he's a rental, and he'd be a team that is in a championship, is kind of an end away from a championship, kind of one piece.
Yeah.
But, and again, this is 3 weeks in, and he missed 1 week, and he's coming off of injury. But so far, unless he changes around, he's not shown value. He's been nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He's had one play to where he's going to really have to stand out for a team to look at him and be like, okay, this is a young guy who's a rental who we would have to pay. You know what I mean? I just think there's other guys out there.
Yeah, I just think I kind of agree that he might be the more realistic, just because there's a defensive guy out there that would love to get his hands on a young kid still and play that, I can fix him. You know what I mean? I could fix him. You look at, over in San Diego where not the Chargers, where Gus Bradley is, you know what I mean? Those defensive minded guys, you know what I mean? Even, there's a couple other places like that would take a young kid and just hope that they're able to put him in a better spot.
Yeah, my most realistic guy to get dealt would be a combo of Cox and Ertz. They're the most realistic guys to go. Not that I want either one of them to go. They're just the most realistic guys to go. Marquise, I just think Cox has bigger value. But I don't disagree with you because Ertz has 2 more years on his deal. He has 2 years team control on his deal. So, you have that going for you in terms of value back. So you could probably you could from the right suitor get a first. You know what I mean? You probably could from the right suitor. You're not going to get anything else, but you probably get a first from the right suitor. So are you interested in that? So if you could get back, just say with them 2 guys, if you got back 2 firsts and just hypothetically say a third, right? 2 firsts and a third. That right coming up in next year's draft, it means you would have 3 first rounders. If you don't drastically upgrade your team youth-wise through that, you never will.
Nope.
You'll never improve as a football team. Yeah. If you have 3, if that were to happen, you have 3 first rounders, say, and you miss on all 3 of them, then you should never be a GM of any football team ever again. That's just how it should be.
Never.
Or you just package them all up.
Sorry, Greg. I just don't have back end access here, so I can't, just to confirm me not reading comments because I have no idea what's even being said.
I got you. Philly says, I think every vet should be on the block besides Lane, seeing that we're going to be $65 million over the cap.
Well, is he on the block too? Listen, if you're talking about a full freaking you're talking about a full.
I can't do Lane because you've always said in the past, Tommy, linemen don't grow on trees.
No, they don't. But I'm talking about if you're in a full blown rebuild. If you're in a full blown rebuild, right? Then the conversation's there for everybody. That's
I agree with
the
that.
whole thing up. I'm not trying to trade any of these guys because I still think we can win football games with some of these guys. You know what I mean? I was hoping we were going to put some young talent around them. We haven't, but I still trust in it. I still trust in some of these guys. So I'm not in the business training. But if you're in a rebuild mode, then listen, they can all go, man. Because then you got to start over. So you got to detach the hard part of it and say, how much can I get back? Now, listen, we're not even talking about that yet. We shouldn't even be talking about that to the deadlines here, and we see where we're at really, because a lot can change in the next few weeks. I don't see how it happens, but this football team could win 2 football games in a row, and then that conversation sort of is out the window a little bit. Now we're trying to say, oh, can we win a division? We're back. Here we are. You know what I mean? So much can change that, again, I'm not out on a football team after 3 weeks. I'm not out on Carson after 3 weeks. I'm just not going to be out on them things. Everybody's got to play better, coach better, and I don't care what your schedule says it's going to be. It's a National Football League. You can go win games. You know what I mean? So we're going to find out. We talked about in weeks past, what this team's made of. Well, this is a tough test on the road, tough San Francisco team. I don't care if Nate Mullins, I don't care who's back there.
Yeah.
Nate McMullen, Nate McMillan, I don't care. I don't care who's back there. We got to create. This is a weekend where you have to create turnovers. But I'm not
I don't think we're there yet. I mean, like what we watched over 3 weeks, are we there? Absolutely. But given everything how this division has gone down, I'm still in the business of wanting to win a division, obviously. But it's hard to get up right now when you played this bad. So
Yeah.
you're going to play a good football team and can be a real good statement win that rattle off a few. So that's what I'm looking at this Sunday as, like, hey, your back's against the wall more than ever. I mean, you're talking must-win, prime time. You know,
Game Shane Frank.
yeah, let's see what guys are made of. Like, where's my
Yeah.
quarterback? Where's my quarterback? I'm going to say it. I don't like. Listen, I know there's not a lot of weapons around, but he's got to step up like he did last year. Like he did it last year, so he has to do it again. You know what I mean? I can't make a million excuses for the guy when he just did it last year, right? So I need you to do it again.
Tyler says, "Are you guys going to talk about Doug's comments towards the fans?" I'm not aware of those comments.
Yeah, I have not heard them comments.
What did he say?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Listen, man. I mean, you got to understand how players and coaches think. Like, they're all like, well, if you're not with us, you're against us. Like, you got to understand, like, John Reger from TCU, where, like, college people always love college players. They always, like, back them up. Like, it's going to be all right. We're with you. Like, this is a different breed, man. So I don't give a shit what he said because he's probably right. Like, there's animals on Twitter that have no freaking football IQ and just go hot at dudes. So, you know, deal with it, but also understand how players and coaches think. Like, if you're not in here with us, then you don't understand. Right? And that's player coach talk. So
Marcus says, how about this? Hear me out. Trade Goddard for Michael Gallup.
I like Gallup, but I mean,
I just feel like we can get more for Goddard. You know, that might be crazy to say.
Are you, Marcus? Are you serious right now? We're going to trade Dallas to Dallas, and we think that ain't going to freaking smoke us. You think that guy? Next thing you know, he's catching 75 catches a year, 12 touchdowns, and we just were like, you know, we can't give Dallas to Dallas. There's like certain things you can't do. You can't give Dallas to Dallas. Nope, can't do it.
Let's see here. Jeremy Beelan says, are you guys thinking more on giving the opportunity to Jalen Hurts if Wentz continues to turn over the ball and we lose again?
No,
because it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't solve anything.
No, I'm just not there yet. I don't know why we're here right now in this conversation. Like I understand why we're here, but we can't be here right now. Like we just have to pray to God that Carson can figure it out. Because if not, we're just in desperate time. We're going to be in a bad spot. And I don't know if anybody wants that spot. Like, we forget about how bad it is without a quarterback. And then to hang your hat on this guy being the guy is just – I'm not saying he couldn't be, but I doubt it. But, I mean, it's live or die by 11 right now. And that's not a shot at anybody else. That's just reality.
Richard says Doug Peterson is 42, 30, and 1. That one is going to kill me, by the way. As the Eagles head coach, under Doug, the Eagles are 24-1 when running the ball 27 plus times.
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do in November and December. Like we always like to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yep. Philly says, I wish I could be optimistic, but I truly think this team is just bad. And with the record coming up, and the schedule coming up, I think we're in for a top 5 pick. Yeah, I mean, I have feelings of that too. I'm not there yet, but I have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking like it. It is. Let's see here.
Jamar Chase would be nice.
Yeah, it won't be bad, even though watch Howie will draft him and it'll somehow suck. Marcus says Gallup, 1,000-yard receiver falls, is just under Ertz rotting, but more realistic. DJ Chark is going to be for sale soon. Yeah, I mean, you know our beliefs of DJ Chark. You friggin'
DJ Chark, DJ Chark.
And you know the Jags are trying to acquire picks. Give them a friggin' Give him a third and Dallas.
Right?
I'll do that in 2 seconds.
Give him anything. I'm just trying to get better, guys. And I don't know how we do that on the fly. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Again, and I know Manny got mad at me earlier when I said it, and again, I will preface it. I don't think it's realistic, but again, if people were looking for a one-way avenue to fix the quarterback in the offense, the only thing, because somebody asked earlier, like, oh, are we trained for Allen Robinson, or are we trained for this guy? The GM said it himself 5 weeks before the season even started. You're not getting that big-time trade. You're not getting that big-time signing acquisition because they want the cap space to roll over. So that's them saying there's no immediate fix. You know what I'm saying? There's not that hotshot wide receiver that is going to be on the market because he's on a bad team he can come in and he can change the offense.
And in case you missed it, Allen Robinson on a 3-0 Bears team right now.
Yeah, and he wants to get paid a lot of money.
No shot. They're trading him right now.
Yep. With who's the quarterback, by the way, Greg?
I don't know. I don't know his name.
Neither
it will not come out of my mouth.
Same. I just wanted to see if you would slip. That's all.
Hey, Nick Foles, who gives a shit? Get over it, people. Get over it. That's what I'll say to everybody. Stop bringing his damn name up. Like, you want to say Jalen Hurts' name a million times, fine. At least he's on the damn roster. You know what I mean, guys?
No, absolutely.
I agree.
Damn, is everybody on Miami hurt? Dragic, Adebayo, Jimmy.
They're nothing without them. Oh my God.
Ralph, what did you do to them, Ralph? That's not fair, bro.
I didn't do anything. I'm just watching.
I'm
just watching.
You got voodoo dolls over there?
Well, you got Christmas lights? Were they Christmas lights back there?
Yeah. We just hung. They've always been up.
What?
They've always been up like that.
What, you don't take them down?
No, I'm downstairs in the quotation marks of the man cave.
So you're in the basement?
With holes.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're all in bunkers.
What happened to the ceiling, Ralph? Did you get mad?
No, we're getting we gotta put new lights in, so we gotta get the new whatever it's called.
All right, guys. On another note, do you guys want to Ralph, I love that Santa's coming and you're gonna get a little lap dance, baby. But let's get to the bread and butter, and I would assume we got to get. How long are we into this show? I mean, granted, I've been running around. I feel like I haven't even been here.
An hour we're in 42.
That's amazing. So we got to get into the bread and butter, and that is strictly predictions. And somebody on here try to figure out how the hell this football team is going to win a game.
What up, Gongos?
What up, Ghost? Yo, Rob, I'll tell you one thing now. On another note, these Bluetooth bad boys, it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. Like
the AirPods?
Oh yeah, I can just plug them into my phone, just walk around. I got no problem with no crickets now.
The problem is the battery on those things. They die in like 10 minutes. At least mine do.
No, but guess what? If you charge one at a time, then you're always going to be good to go. You got adaption talk.
I see.
Adaption talk.
I like that. Yes, Bobby Eagles, prediction time.
Look, I go outside. You know what I mean? Like, what up?
He went mobile.
Right? I can move around. You know what I mean? There's so much room for activities.
Dale, no power tools.
Let's see. King.
It's a toothbrush.
Cowboys fan here. At least you guys don't have Bill O'Brien or
True.
Hell would have broke loose in Philly.
Yeah, you're actually right, King.
True.
And I'm a Bill O'Brien guy, but he's terrible in Houston.
Wait, what? What do you mean? What does that mean?
No, I just like what he did. I like what the job he did at Penn State. So I'm always going to be a fan of Bill O'Brien. But he's horrendous right now in Houston.
You're like Howie Roseman. You have blind loyalty.
All right, so let's do this because I'm not listening to anything Greg says. So
never does.
No, I mean no disrespect, but like I know you're a We Are guy, but get a quote. Like you can't say you're a Bill O'Brien guy. Like just leave that out. Just say, like, you're a big Penn State guy, but he just isn't getting it done. You can sort of just go that direction. But I digress on the direction you should have said. But whatever, that's semantics. Let's get into winning the football. No, you didn't. Let's replay the tape.
I said he was horrible. I said he's doing horrible. I like a Bill O'Brien though.
You said big Bill O'Brien guy. You said big Bill O'Brien guy. I got neighbors that are here.
Cricket. I hear a cricket.
You know?
Yeah.
Dude, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Like I feel like there's on my neck. I've had Atlanta
Where do
flights.
you live?
In Runnymede, I feel like I live like in the Dominican Republic. I don't think you're on a circle. I mean, it's a beautiful spot. You know what I mean?
He's walking down the street.
Beautiful spot.
He's running from the cricket.
Beautiful spot.
Ralph, you want to lead us off with the predictions, sir?
Yeah, I'll go first. Well, here we are.
Beautiful
Week
spot.
4 of the NFL season, and the Birds are 0-2 and 1. We got a tie. So the first 3 weeks of football have been completely shit, except for the first half of the Washington game.
Bye, Tom.
But I feel like there's going to be a lot of losses on this panel when it comes to score predictions. So
he ran into
I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna say the Eagles going to San Fran on Sunday Night Football, and they win. They win in San Fran. Upset alert! Sunday Night Football. They win. I'm gonna say they win 27-24. Player of the game on offense is going to be Greg Ward because it seems like he's the only guy that can catch the football. Defensive-wise, I'm going to go Darius Slay. He gets his first pick as an Eagle.
Down with a tie.
Oh, my God. If we tie again, I swear to God, I'll give up.
Ryan, did you really predict a tie last week? I don't remember that.
Not on this show. I said it on Sunday. I put it in the chat. I said we would tie the friggin' yes.
Wow.
Doesn't count.
No.
Cursed.
But yeah, mush.
When Doug does run Jake Elliott on the field to kick a field goal for more than 50 yards. So there you go.
We can't really put up 3 points, right? Like that's not going to happen, right? Like that's not going to be real life, right? That we score 3 points on Sunday.
We've seen it all at this point, Tom. I mean, who are we to say that can't happen? You know what I mean? We've seen it all.
My struggle with this week is, and it's legit, who is catching the football outside of Greg Ward and Zach Ertz?
Yeah. Why he's my player of the game.
Who's there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing there. I hope, Quez or John Hightower or Hakeem LeBron James comes out and balls out, but can you really trust it? I don't know.
No. What do you trust?
You got a Deontay Burnett prediction from Philly?
I mean, he played better than J-Jaw. That agree to disagree worked last week.
I don't want to be comparing people to J-Jaw.
Tori, I don't know if we even let you go anywhere but last here because I feel like we're already going to know what that answer is to the prediction. So the family out there
You have
doing
no idea.
Make sure you give us your score predictions, offensive, defensive player of the game, chance to win $100 free merch from A2D. Right. So we got tons of stuff. PhillyDrinkers.com/A2D. And you get everything. So, listen.
Bad things happen here in Philadelphia shirt already up.
Yeah, bad things happen in Philadelphia.
Come get your Tory Bad Bitches Happen in Philadelphia shirt.
So you got it for all teams. Bad things happen in Philadelphia for all teams.
I
Can't
love
beat
it. And the Wawa. Love it.
A little Wawa for Greg. It's always about Greg. We're givers. So, score prediction time. Ralphie has us winning the football game somehow.
27-24 upset on Sunday Night Football, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. Jonathan Nelson, in all honesty, 35-16 Niners. I mean, I can't call you a liar. And then we got a tie. Then he's tying. So now we're tying. So I don't know what's happening. So we'll move on from the tie. Philly says 23-17 Niners. I mean, listen, all good picks. All good picks. Don, tie. Jesus, guys. Would you guys stop talking this stuff into existence? Stop talking any of this crap in the existence.
I'm excited that they're going to score 28 points in some of these scores.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, look at David Johnson. I mean, David Johnson's got 31-17.
By Torrey
again, 31-17. So I mean, that's like whoa. Like I mean, any of us will take it, right? So I don't know. I mean, that's wishful thinking. Bobby Eagles, 28-24 Eagles player of the game. Sanders on offense, Slay on defense. Jerry is my sleeper. He doesn't give up 100 yards to Kittle. Well, that would be joyful, but
that'd be a win in itself.
He hasn't shown anything where he's not going to get, torched all over the football field. So
yeah,
all right, Greg, give us your prediction here.
So I'm in an Eagles block pool, season-long block pool.
Nice.
And I finally got some good numbers this week. I got the Eagles with 0, and I got the Niners with 6. So with that in mind, I'm going 26-10 Niners.
26-9?
No, 26-10. I need a 0.
26-10. Gotcha. I didn't hear you. My bad.
That's obvious. Player of the game, Kittle. And defensive player of the game, everybody? No, I don't know. I don't.
Everybody.
Jeez, we're at everybody.
Is that your prediction? Everybody?
It's. I don't even know their defense right now without Bosa and Solomon Thomas.
He's really going everybody right now.
All right, he went everybody defensively, so that's fun.
You want me to go, Tom, or you want to go?
No, go ahead.
I'm going to go with a loss here. 49ers win. I'm going to go 37-17. My offensive player of the game, I'm going to go Nick Mullins. And my defensive player of the game, I want to just do Vitor again.
Vitor.
I just want to do the same thing as Greg. I just want to say everybody but the center. But I'll go Richard Sherman. I'll go an interception. I'll go PHIX for Richard Sherman. Because pain.
Fun times. So,
is he playing? I didn't go him because I thought he was hurt.
Check. I thought he was playing. Could be right.
All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna go a little bit different than you guys. So I'm going to figure out a way for this football team to try to sneak a W out somehow. So I'm going to go 24-17 Eagles. Yeah, the only way they win this football game is they get it done defensively. And that means shutting everything down. Right? We got to take the football away on Sunday. All right, we have to hold them to under 100 yards in the ground game. I mean, things that we can do well, we have to do well on Sunday defensively. We have to show out, right? And then offensively, you just have to hope for enough, right? And you can win this football game. But, the way this team's played over the first 3 weeks, it's hard to say they're going to win any football game. But backs are against the wall, obviously a must win. So, you got to almost take them to win because if they don't win in a must win like this, when are they going to win? I mean, it's a banged up football team there, too. You're without your starting quarterback, okay? You're without big parts of your defensive line. I mean, so you're not the healthiest group around either. So, there's no excuses that now you're going to play a juggernaut on Sunday night, okay? So you should still be able to come out of this game with a win, right? And it's going to start defensively. It's going to start with Carson Wentz taking care of the football, right? And my offensive player of the game, I'm going to go with Zach Ertz because – like Greg was saying, who else is going to catch the ball for this football team? So I need Zach Ertz to have a monster game. And on the defensive side of things, it's got to be our front four. So I'm taking every one of them. I mean, it's got to be our front 4/5. You had Hargrave /6 if you had one at Sweat, right? Whatever. But them guys got to go dominate on Sunday. They got to win up front, and they got to get off the field on third downs. And how about a strip sack or two? You know what I mean? Like, how about just, hey, love to have a loose ball that we jump on top of. Like, these are the things that you have to do to go win on the road. There's a recipe to winning on the road in this league, and it starts with taking the football away, right? And it starts with taking care, and then it starts with taking care of the football offensively. But Carson cannot turn the football over Sunday. This football team expects to win. He cannot.
Yeah.
This has to be a clean game. Does he have to throw for 300? I'm not saying that. But he's got to take care of the football, right? And it's easier said than done right now, obviously. But he still can. He's proven he can. He can, with interceptions. He's not known to throw a ton of them like he has this year so far. So it's not really been something he's done a bunch. So hopefully now he can eliminate some of them. Maybe his timing's better with some guys. Who knows? But that's what you got to hope for. And that's your way you can win this game. It sounds simpler than it is, but that's the formula.
By the way, I'm a friggin' idiot. Richard Sherman's on IR, so I'm gonna go with Fred Warner, somebody who's actually playing on Sunday as my defensive player of the game. So
yeah, that's a good call.
I'll go Eric.
Somebody
Armstead.
who's actually playing.
I'll go Eric Armstead, defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can take everybody. I mean, you like you said, Greg. I mean, there's no lies. But listen, let's understand something right now. All right,
Listen, Linda, listen.
This is some fanhood talking. This is some fanhood, but it's a winnable game, though. This is not like David versus Goliath here. I mean, let's be real. I mean, they've got a backup goddamn quarterback. Like, at least Cincinnati had a starter in. I mean, they're terrible. I understand the Niners are a better football team, but maybe it's a year where we play down a competition. I don't know, but we're going to find out on Sunday. But I think it's a winnable game. I mean, am I going to bet my mortgage on it? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going there. Like it's a guaranteed dub, but I'm going in the direction like I think they can go on the road and win this game and start feeling a little bit better about ourselves here and get a win. I mean, no ties, a dub. 24-17. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Have some faith. Let's go.
Let's go.
Philly wants to know if we think. Oh no, we'll answer that once Tori gives it.
Well, here we go.
Tori's going to break the tie one way or another. I mean, I think we all know where she's going, but
no, I don't think you do. So I missed everything because my Wi-Fi. So at first, I was going Niners are going to lose. Then the whole Niners team was hurt, so I was going Eagles to win. But now the other half of the Eagles team is hurt as well. It's so back and forth. But I'm going to say Eagles because this is the only game in the next 3 games that we have a possibility to win. And this is the biggest do or die moment. Like, we have to win this game. So I'm picking the Eagles to win by divine intervention.
I do disagree.
What?
No, I just disagree with, like, out of the next. So Baltimore, and who's after Baltimore? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
So out of these next 3 games, this is the most winnable game.
Okay. Now, if they win this game, does that give you a little more confidence in the next 2?
It depends how we win it. I want to say if we come out.
Are we at that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we at that point where we're like, well, it depends how they win?
Yes, for me, yeah.
I mean,
if we come out, if we win the game in overtime, like the Bengals game, we still look like shit. But if we come out killing it, like Wentz is looking on fire, he's throwing it in the right places, people are catching it, we're looking elite. Yeah, I might say we might win against. I mean, the Ravens didn't look that good last week anyway. But we lose this game, I don't know what to tell anybody.
Oh, well, I'm gonna concrete shoot myself, but that's you guys can do whatever you guys want to do. But that's the direction I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, Tori. You know why I'm gonna stamp a guarantee now? Can I tell you why I'm gonna stamp a guarantee Sunday night? Because you totally just redeemed your damn self, and it's about time. It's about time that you came on this side of the fence and started picking the Eagles. Because every time you pick against them, they've lost. So it's time for you to realize.
It's true.
No, it's time for you to realize and not be true anymore. Stop being truthful. All right?
Okay.
Start fucking lying. It's bigger than you. All right? Now we know.
It's bigger than you.
We have a sample size of you picking us to lose and us constantly losing or tying. So now we got a sample size, which means you got to do the Greg mush. Greg mush is always take the other side if we win. Your mush is, hey, baby. We could be 0-14, but you're taking us. We're finding a way.
But let me tell you, it was hard for me to pick them to win. It was hard.
You think that's easy to do? That's not easy to do. How hard do you think it was? Yeah.
I don't think it's a blowout though. Like I'm gonna say, like, let's say, I feel like it's gonna be like kind of like the same score as last week. So maybe like I picked last week 21-19. So I'm gonna go 20-17. We'll win.
All right, you're around me 24-17. So who's the offensive player of the game?
I'm gonna go Carson Wentz, obviously. I'm hoping he just like has like a reversal to maybe his concussion from last season, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna play like old Carson again. Because
it's like a light switch. It's like a light switch.
Yeah,
so maybe a knock on it. Maybe somebody just give him a little like, yo, you
like maybe his daughter's gonna knock him in the head with a toy or something. Like I don't know, but that's what I was thinking too. Like maybe concussion reasons. I don't know, but I'm thinking of all these reasons to defend Carson.
Tori, I asked the guys on Sunday the same thing. I said, I'm just going to throw a theory out there. Maybe I'll run with it. Maybe that concussion against Clowney, maybe that gave him some kind of weird amnesia that made him like, it was like the same kind of concussion that made Antonio Brown go crazy. Like one of those things that just affects you for a while.
He looked good as hell up until then. Like I don't get it.
I know. Well, and then for that like 20 minutes against the Washington football team week 1. And
exactly.
It's like, was it some kind of amnesia that like made him like forget how to play?
You know what I saw? You know what I saw? Somebody comparing Carson to Markelle Fultz. And it like hit me right here, and I was like, oh damn, like that's a possibility.
Well, Markelle can play though.
Now we can.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But listen. This is nothing to do with concussions or A, B, C, and D. What this has to do with is trust, confidence, and decisiveness. Right? That's what it comes down to. This is everything I'm watching he's not doing with the football. Right? Everything. We talk about holding it a long time in Washington. Well, when you're holding the football a long time, that means you're not trusting what your eyes are telling you. You're not trusting what's out there. You're not trusting your skill position guys. And this is where you see forced throws. Because when you don't trust something, you force stuff, right? And a lot of the force has to come with, one, guys aren't getting open to a point. But two, you don't believe in it, right? So if you're playing quarterback anywhere and you're not believing in what you're seeing, now you start to force. You start to do things that isn't really your style, but you fall into bad habits. Does it make sense? And then it's like anything else. Like hitting in baseball is contagious, right? So's running on all cylinders offensively, right? It becomes contagious for everybody. So when you're doing that first little quarter in Washington, right, you look good because now it's contagious, right? Guys are catching football. Guys are open. Guys are making blocks, right? You're running all them things. So it becomes a contagious thing for your football team. But when you're doing this, right, it becomes what the Phillies bullpen was. It becomes contagious on a bad thing. So no matter what comes in, no matter what walks through the door, they're going to find a barrel, right? So we're the same thing offensively. No matter what play we're calling, no matter what we're doing, right, we're not executing in any fashion, right? So it starts with, we talked about it last week, talked about the week before and the week before, right? You want to do it right, okay? You RPO guys, you get the ball out of his hands quick, you design rollouts, right? You do these things because it gets your quarterback making quick decisions, right? And I think that's what we all want, because the way I look at Carson over these 3 games, if he's cold, he's been cold. And there hasn't been that heater that we expect.
Wow. Yeah.
What? Who hit the homer?
Andy and
No,
just
just
tied it
Indy's
up.
going to double to tie it up.
Yep. 8-8. 8-8 in the 7th.
No.
Bottom of the 7th.
Screw New York. All right,
And the Dodgers are winning 3-2.
I need the Dodgers to tack on another run or two.
MLB.
Love Brewers tonight, baby. Somebody, with that money line, with that money, I took the Brewers. Why not throw 25 on them?
Richard
minus 260.
25.
Richard says, if when the Eagles win the next 3 games, will you be confident in this team again? Richard, if they split the next 4, I'll be walking on water. If they split the next 4 games before the bye,
people are
I haven't
like I'm crazy. Like, come on.
Hold on, Richard. I haven't stopped the belief side of it. Like, I still want to believe in them. I've seen this work in years past where they figured it out, right? So I'm still holding the hope that they can do that and rally. Is it hard to do more than other years right now? Absolutely. But I still want to believe that this football team can win a division and get it right, okay? So as bad as you played, you still control your own destiny and you don't even have a win into 3 weeks? Like that, like as a fan, like, yeah, we know we stink right now. But as a diehard, you're like, well, at least we're still in it. You know what I mean? At least we can still have conversations Dallas week as of right now. Like, hey, these are important games still. Right? So you just got to tread it, man. And you were hoping last week was a win, so you're feeling a little bit better. You win this game, you're 2-2, like we thought we could be. But, you know, the tie almost in a ridiculous way helps you instead of a loss on Sunday in some weird way, right? Not that we want to tie because everybody lost, so it helps you in terms of that week. So now, listen, now you just got to go in and listen, you got to leave it all out there this Sunday. Like, there needs to be some trick plays. There needs to be a flea flicker. There needs to be Greg Ward on an end around throwing the football, right? Like, you understand, you got to treat this game like it's the last game of your season. It's elimination day. Now, is it really? No, it's not, because your division stinks. But in reality, you have to treat it like elimination day. And if you're not treating it like elimination day and leaving it all out there, then I got even more question marks than I had coming into this week.
It is almost, though, an elimination game outside of the division because it's another conference game, though, right? So, I mean, at this point, you're right. You're only playing for the division because of how bad it is. But conference-wise, though, this is another conference opponent. Yeah. So this is another – it's a must-win.
Yeah. Yeah, and you look at it, too, and we kind of talked about it last week. You know, the MO for this team should just be to, I'm not saying in the locker room, but us as fans is trying to survive to the bye week. Because if we look back 4 weeks from now and say, okay, we survived, that means that we went on a little bit of a run, quote unquote, and that means we stole one of these next 3 really difficult games and we handled our business short week against the Giants. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, it doesn't seem on the surface like, oh, if you split if you go 2-2 the next 2, does it look great now? Because you only still have 2 wins on your resume, but you look at it, it's like, okay, well, you steal one of the games that you, on paper, had no business playing or even competing in, and then you get a win in division. And then those are, then you've obviously got, I'm not saying that all the tough teams are done because you still got Seattle and Green Bay and the Saints and the Cardinals left, but you've got something going. And clearly, if you're able to steal a victory or 2 in the next 4 weeks, that means you're finding identity on the offensive side of the ball, and especially on defense with how bad they've been. And that means the quarterback is having a better, stretch of games. That's all we need.
And what, you could be 2-4, you're 2-4-1, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, in this division, like, that might be a win at that point. Like, you might be a game out or half a game out still.
Go ahead, Rod. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rafi.
No, it's just crazy to think that after 3 weeks of football with the record of 2-1, you're still in the race for first place in your division. Like, it's insane.
It's absolutely remarkable.
Misty says, "Hey everyone, Cowboys fan here. I just sit in here from time to time to hear sports talk from others, not for my Dallas teams. Well, pleasure to have you. Pleasure.
Welcome, Misty.
Misty, I'll tell you one thing, that you guys should be encouraged by is your offense right now. I mean, I think your offense is still the thing that can carry you guys through this. I think Ezekiel obviously has to play better. I thought Dak's really good at times, but they're tough. Your injuries on your defense have killed you, but I still think you're the team to beat in this division. That's not saying a lot. But I mean, it's not a shot at the Cowboys. It's just not saying a lot. But as of right now, you have a gun to my head. The Cowboys are the team to beat. And again, not saying a lot, saying that, but they're my front runner right now. And I think anybody with 2 eyes would say the same thing. I mean, the Eagles just aren't the front runner. Washington's not the front runner. I don't care. And the Giants sure as hell aren't. So, it leaves the Cowboys as a team to beat.
Philly says need receivers to be in motion more to try and create more separation from the line of scrimmage, like what McVay does, or what I mean, not just McVay, what it seems like 90% of the league does at this point.
Yeah, separation's fun. I mean,
yeah,
how about some right? That's what I'm talking about RPOs with you guys because like if I RPO you and I'm running slants and I'm running crosses and I'm running almost like air quote pick plays without the pick, right? Then I'm creating that natural separation by just moving guys and like, do you ever see like crosses? Like when's the last time this year? When's anytime this year that you guys seen guys cross and try and create separation through just going through each other's routes, going the opposite way? Like,
they tried it on that first interception, but everybody was covered. The first part of that where Deshaun filled in behind was two receivers crossing in the middle, but obviously they were completely covered. And there was no separation. There was no room for any of them.
You know what's funny, too, and I meant to bring this up earlier.
Well, that's one time. So, I mean, it's good to know that they've at least tried it, but obviously they didn't go back to that well.
Yeah.
No, you're good. That you look at this team, right? And it's like it should be like forbidden to even say this, but I'm going to do it. And hear me out on this and tell me if I'm just completely crazy for saying this.
You're crazy.
Okay, good. That the offensive side of the ball, to me, reminds me a lot of 2015 Chip Kelly in this aspect, okay? To where you're looking at the game plan, and we talk about Chip's downfall, mostly the GM Chip, that he believed that his system could work with anybody just filling in the roles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of looked like that here, that, okay, Howie and Doug to an extent, but really Howie up there, they believe that they can use the same type of system with the Hightowers and the Watkins and the Boston Scotts and the Corey Clements. You know what I'm saying? That, hey, our system's going to work and these guys can run fast, so it's going to work without realistically thinking about, A, the rookie wide receivers and skill position players, B, if they're not rookies, they're undrafted guys, or C, they're just not very good because like we always talked about, you could be the fastest guy in the world. But if you can't stay healthy, you can't get open, and you can't catch the damn football, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I just think when you miss in the second round and you're not getting production from that guy and you're constantly missing, like it's just you're missing on talent. Like it's not that even they're saying like, oh, like, our system is greater than our talent. They're not even saying that. They're just missing on fucking talent.
Yeah, I agree. That makes let's see here. We have Pop Martinez saying it's so hard to trust this team with the performance against Cincinnati. And I feel you, Tom, speaking from the heart as a diehard fan, but nothing has shown us we can compete against good teams, let alone bad ones so far. I hope things change, but a bat signal needs to be shown here in order for me to believe this team could turn it around.
No, and I'll say one thing to you, Pop. I don't disagree with you. Okay, there's nothing they've shown outside of a quarter in Washington, and I would say a quarter with St. Louis. Right? I mean, LA. Sorry, with the Rams. I mean, besides that, what have you seen? Nothing. Right? I mean, nothing at all. But you've seen spurts of it. So when you talk about the Washington game, well, how can you win that? What could make you win that game? Well, not turning the football over would have been helpful, right? And you maybe come out of there with a win, right? What can make you possibly stay in that Rams game? Well, how about this? Not a first drive fumble by Miles Sanders, right? Not other turnovers. So if this football team can hold on to the football, right, and not turn it over, they're in these games, if not maybe winning these games. That's the difference maker. They beat the Bengals if he doesn't turn the football over twice. They beat the Bengals. They beat Washington if he doesn't throw 2 picks, right? They might not beat the Rams, but they're beating these other teams as bad as they played if he doesn't turn the football over. Because every time he turned the football over, they were big spots, man. And if Miles doesn't turn the football over, right? Think about that. Like, that's a what ifs right? But that's what your defense. That's what your defense taking the football away at nothing at all, and you still would win these games if you just didn't turn the football over, or in half. Like if you turned it over, if you didn't turn over at the end of the half against Washington, you're winning that game. You're up 17-0 going in the half. You're winning that football game. Okay, no matter how much they storm back, you're winning it because the momentum didn't shift. Right? You don't fumble opening drive against LA. Who knows how that game goes? Right? Now you're not feeling like you're playing from behind the whole time. So these turnovers on all ends from everybody are dictating why this football team is playing from behind so much, right? And why nothing's working. But through all that, everybody, there's your glimmer of hope that if you do take care of the football in these games, you might win. You might be 2-1. Now that I'm saying the what ifs, but you understand what I'm saying to you guys, though. Like it's so important to take care of the damn football in this league, and if you don't, you're going to lose games. And he's better than this. He's better than the guy who turns the football over a lot. Now, fumbles wise, he does it all the time. We get that. But pick wise, he's usually been pretty good pick wise. So he needs to listen. Every quarterback can get strip sacked. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the nature of the beast. But I need you to take care of the football, throw the damn thing, babe. All right, throw the damn thing better. Be confident. All right.
So, we've got a guy in the chat, Tom, that's coming after you. He said, I'll just read it, and he's got one hell of a name. Just the tip _69 says, original. He says, remember when I told you backwards hat, Eagles were going 6-10 in August, and you said, come back and talk. I'm here.
Okay.
And then he says, oh, stop the excuses if.
No. See, this is where people don't want to hear, or they just want to assume. I'm not saying we should win them games. We're 0-2-1 for a reason. I'm telling you how you can win a game in San Fran. This is where people aren't listening. I'm telling you how the glimmer of hope that if you take care of the football, you're in these games. Then you're already in anyway, right? So you're already in all three of these football games. Even the Rams game, as bad as it was, you were still essentially in that game at a period of time. You got yourself back in that football game. So, like I'm saying, if you take care of the football, maybe these games are different, but moving forward, you could find a recipe for some success. That's all I'm saying. And, bro, you can puff chest that they're going to be 6-10 all you want. And they might very well be, but they can't be 6-10. So you're wrong already. You're going to be 6-9-1. So you're already wrong. So you're already wrong. So now you don't come at me when you're already wrong. All right. And y'all be like, oh, it doesn't matter semantics. No, it matters. So that's not the right record. So you're already probably wrong. So let's just look at it like this. You can be right. That's fine. But I'm always going to assume that my football team is going to be a good football team. And I said until they prove me wrong, and they're starting to. Okay. But that took 3 years for them to start to prove it wrong. So let's be fair both ways. All right. Puffer fish.
I think it's time to call him Babe. Actually,
I like Jeremy's comment. Bring in Ocho and Tio. Let's go.
Please.
Why? Because he had good tape
and
on
Antonio
YouTube?
Brown. Let's go.
Huh?
Why? Because he had good tape on YouTube?
Because they're better than any wide receiver we have now.
Listen. At this point, we can make a little YouTube documentary.
You know who I want.
What was that, Tom?
You guys know who I want.
Yeah, Dez.
I've seen his Instagram stories for 3 years now, man.
I think that's right now in a heartbeat.
You want to talk about a guy who's running Chris routes? I mean, I can be a scout without even going to a scouting school, without even freaking any background, and tell you can still run a route or two better than what we have. So time's yours, people.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, and listen, to this point, would I scoff at Ocho or Tio? No, but I mean, if we're going based off of things that might be better than what we have, I mean, I feel like, we here at A2D can put up like a short little documentary of you and Ralphie running down the street, and it might look better. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that might get some phone calls, some angry phone calls maybe, but it'll get some phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the whole block would be shaken.
Richard says Antonio Brown, question mark?
Dude, I've been saying that for over a year.
Listen, it's 2020, so I'll do it.
I would have.
He's fresher than the other one.
I would have punched all in the face for even bringing his name up this time last year. But as dreadful as we've been offensively, I mean, I'm a jackass. Say no to anybody.
He might bring this locker room together. Who knows?
Philly Sports Passion wants Freddie Mitchell back.
All right, that's where we'll draw the line.
Yeah.
All right. You finally found somebody I'll say no to.
Yeah, I mean, you could hit me Calvin Johnson. You could hit me like Barry Sanders at 50. Like you could hit me with you could hit me Barry Sanders at 50. You could tell me Bo Jackson's coming back with like a brand new hip. Like I'm in on so many names, but never Freddie Mitchell.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've never witnessed a guy who thinks he's good that stinks as much as Freddie Mitchell does. You weren't a 5th round pick, honey, that like snuck on a roster. Okay. So your whole persona sucked your entire time here. All right, so put the belt away.
I was there for his biggest catch.
Stop doing
Tom's monologues are a remix with crickets.
I know. I was like, can anyone hear it? I can hear it. Marcus says, could you imagine signing Dez and winning the division? Who's making the baked chicken for Jerry's funeral?
Yo, I'll host a whole barbecue. You know what I mean? You guys can all come on over. Just wear your mask, but we'll barbecue it up for Jerry. And I got the chicken.
You're good, Philly Sports Passion. We know you were joking.
Yeah, we know you're joking.
Nobody on this earth could possibly be serious. Here we go, Don. The Jordan Matthews. I know Ralph's big into that.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of Ralph, did you get a jersey recently?
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this. Yeah, Ralph.
What?
Hey, buddy. Because I feel like the fraudulence going by you, and you also disappeared the next week. I feel like you not owning up to the bet is maybe cursed the Eagles.
Oh yeah, the Jason Peters. Yeah. I just gotta find one in my size.
What?
I gotta find one in my size.
Are we doing this?
I'll get one. I'll get one.
From China, it doesn't even need your size. Like $30, bro.
Yep, that's where I got my Brandon Graham jersey.
Ralphie,
from China.
What's up?
$22. This can't happen, right? You even if that's an XL, you get it over one arm and we go to work. All right. I mean, again, bigger than us, right? So now you're putting bad juju on our football team, which we've had enough of. Okay.
Oh my God.
You and Tori, a little combo, both need to start bringing some positivity to the table.
Wait, how about the dude last week?
I picked the Eagles to win every single week so far.
And look how it's gone, Ralph.
Terrible.
Look how it's gone.
Oh my God.
Look how it's gone.
Let's see. Bobby Eagles. Oh my God, hold on. Don. Ralph, just put two jerseys together.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we just need it for a picture. You don't need to wear it. We just need a picture. Bobby Eagles says, look, JJ just needs to give his pads and cleats to Jason Avant, and we can light sand for him up over the middle.
Jason's local. Hold on. Jason's local.
Hold on. Both of you relax for a second. I got something. Jason Avant was brought in here to be a wide receivers coach, right? And
correct.
I remember a lot of nerds, and I say that with all due respect, but a lot of nerds were like that's the answer. It wasn't me. I wasn't going there.
So perfect.
I wasn't going there. What I'm saying is there was a lot of nerds on social that were blowing that move, and all these receivers like Jalen and Watkins and Hightower were going to develop so fast, blah, 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 blah. Listen, if you don't have talent, I don't give a shit who you're putting in these positions, right? So I thought Mr. Development, short hands all these guys were going to catch big balls on third down. You know what I mean? So let's just calm down. We just fall in love. I just can't deal with the fall in love crap anymore. All right? Like, everybody's a savior. Frank Reich's not here anymore, but he's a savior. Smartest guy since Belichick. It just, the list can put that. Don DiFilippo, smartest guy in the room now, but failed everywhere else he's went. Can we have some sense of just a feel for life? I'm not saying DiFilippo wasn't great for Carson in his development as a quarterback coach, right? But every level he went up past that, he stunk. Okay? So, listen. Rightfully so. Guys should take other jobs and bigger money when they get the opportunity to, right? Okay? But at the end of the day, we got to stop crowning these dudes, right? Because when they left, our talent went away too. But anytime talent's been on the field, we've produced offensively. You know what I mean? This offense has been atrocious in years past. Doug's the dumbest guy in the room now, and he doesn't have a clue. I'm not saying we're not going to have a terrible year. I'm just saying that Like, we got to stop. These guys aren't coming back. Like, Frank's not going to get fired tomorrow from Indy and be like, oh, I'm coming home, dog. You know what I mean? Like, DeFilippo, maybe he runs home one day and takes a lesser role, and is a QB guy. Fine. But, like, let's be realistic. And nobody's realistic. Like, the Foles talk, he's not coming back. I heard a guy call a certain radio station here, so the dial's terrible. And he was like, oh, what would you trade for Foles right now? Like, is that your feel? Like, that's the feel you have? Where you think that's even a phone call would even happen? Like, I mean, just the moronic idiots out there. I can't take them anymore. You know, so that's where I stand on all this. This guy didn't forget how to fucking coach.
On that note, Paul says, if you get rid of Doug, who would you want as the next head coach?
Oh, no.
Mike Kafka.
Mike Leach.
Doc Rivers.
Mike Kafka.
Mike Leach. Leach. Yes.
Give me Mike Leach. He is a national treasure.
Yes.
His post-game press conference on Saturday was phenomenal.
It's amazing.
Did anyone hear him on Saturday?
Yeah, I did.
They were like, oh, it's pretty average day. He's like, we played LSU because New England, the Saints, and the Packers already had.
I love it.
No, I don't. I'm not looking there, Paul. Right? I'm not there yet, man. Why are we there? Like, that means we're restarting. So everybody wants to restart on a team that's just nonstop going to the playoffs. Like, I thought Howie was retooling throughout this process and not rebuilding. But guess what? It starts with your GM, because he didn't retool at all. He didn't retool as guys got older. You understand? He's missed consistently as guys got older. That's the difference here. That's the difference maker. Talent is the end result. Everybody thought Andy couldn't coach anymore. Well, that's funny. You get Mahomes and you get some talent. Oh, you coach again, huh? So, I mean, have a feel for the game. Like, talent's going to prevail. Doesn't mean great coaches don't help your football team win, right? But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, outside of Belichick, like, the talented teams are the ones standing. They just are.
Richard said, let's be real. Jerry Rice couldn't even help these receivers' development. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Maybe these guys are just lost causes. They're not miracle workers.
Play receiver.
Yeah, is he available to play receiver? Can he make one catch in the end zone? Please. That's all we need. One catch a game is going to be better than 99% of the receivers on roster. You got what is it? Richard also says
I'd send 3 Brinks trucks up to Calvin Johnson's house and be like, "Hey, you still got those cleats from the combine?"
You still got to do the stupid thing with the Lions with the trade rights, right?
That's fine. We can make that happen.
Richard says, as bad as 99-year-old Jason Peters has been, I'll take Ralph at left tackle.
Let's go, baby.
Ralph will get hurt and start crying just like his son Dillard.
Yeah, how's he doing, Ralphie? We haven't heard from him in a while.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's like he does nothing, and he's never done anything.
What up, Ted?
What's up, Ted? Let's see. We got Misty, Cowboys fan, saying Carson and Doug both seem to have lost their joy this season, almost like they have given so much of themselves without getting more talent added to help them succeed. Just the vibe I get from them from afar.
Well, guess what? Guess what, Misty? You want to tell yourself this? Look in the mirror and say, hey, Misty, you're spot on tonight. You know what I mean? And that's what I would say to you. That's if I'm you, I'm saying that to myself. Because you're spot on. I mean, you're talking about guys that, especially Doug, that was able to get it done with guys getting banged up all the time and still keep the train moving in the right direction, still get his team to dances, right? Last year, not a good year, still found themselves in. But you're 100% right. Nobody up top has done anything to help this football team. So that's where I think the disconnect and the arguments are starting to form between Doug and Howie. I do think there's something there. I do. And, I couldn't agree with you more on that.
Greg, bad news for you. Don, local Detroit Lions fan, says, no, we cannot have Calvin Johnson.
Why? They wasted 2 legends up there. We can at least make them useful.
Don, you can't argue with that, Don.
We'll at least get to the playoffs.
Do they still have his contract on? Like, do they still control that contract?
Yeah, I think so.
Calvin's?
Yes, Ralph.
Yeah.
So Tristan says real quick, D-Jax was a good signing. Yup.
Sucks. Awful.
And Journey says, so true. Seems like we have a bunch of midgets out there that can't catch or get open. Shake my head. And listen, you can have small guys. Tyreek's small as shit, but he gets open. So,
yep.
Small don't equal open. You still got to get open, babe. Oh, my God.
Jacob Loss says, this season looks like 6-9-1 with a top 10 draft pick and someone is going, and it's most likely going to be Howie. See, I disagree with the last part. I think if you're seeing somebody get fired, and tell me if you guys disagree with this, I think the guy who's getting fired is probably going to be Jim. If one of the big names and I'm not talking about Press Taylor, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that, even though he probably should be gone and probably would be gone. If we're talking about like the big names, it's probably Jim.
Yeah, but guess what? I feel like Jim's a guy who's not going. Like, I almost feel like his job's safe. Like, he's done nothing really, essentially, to lose his job yet this year. Yet. Like, besides his defense not being ball hawks yet and taking the football away a lot, he really hasn't done. He hasn't been terrible yet. First of all, remember what is he given to? He's giving the worst. He's been given the worst middle linebacker in football, right? In the middle of your field, which is so important, right? Remember what he's given, who a linebacker who's a half an inch away from every football thrown his way, right? So you know what I mean? Like, we got to factor these things in. Like, we just overlook the position.
It's saying out of everyone, though, because I don't see Doug going anywhere because he's not technically on the hot seat yet.
No, it's got to be Howie, and I think, but I don't think Jeffrey pulls it. I don't think Jeffrey's pulls the trigger on that. I don't think he pulls the trigger on Doug. I don't think he pulls the trigger on Jim yet. They've done a lot of shaking around in their coaching staff. I don't think they're going to go to the coaches yet. But I will say this: I could see Howie Roseman off draft day. I could see him not have as much of a hands approach, even on total roster control. That's where you need to get creative and find somebody else. You have to have another voice, and I don't know if they have that guy, or you have to allow your head coach to have a bigger role in this. Okay, that's where I think you can make it right. But if that relationship between Howie and Doug aren't connecting and aren't working, right? Because one's mad at the other, and then the other's mad at the other because he's mad of missed picks, etc., or what's being put around him, right? This creates bad juju inside this whole organization. So they got to figure it out. So you know what I mean? There's a lot of inner little workings here that aren't delicious and aren't good for the taste buds. If you really think about it, they're really not. And that's what's concerning. I mean, your star tight end is talking about a contract. We got 2 years left on one, 2 days before the season. I mean, this isn't good. Nothing Howie Roseman's done besides go and, like I said to you guys a couple weeks ago, Brandon Graham ain't here if they don't win that Super Bowl. He's forced to give him that money, right?
Yeah.
But you see some of the things he did. He went and tried to replace. He went over the last three years, he's went and tried to replace your two most consistent positions outside of injury when you talk about Carson. He tried to go replace your tight end and your quarterback with second-round picks. Right? So, I mean, you're almost trying to replace the wrong guys.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the logic, Tom. I don't disagree with any of it at all. Your logic. I don't disagree with any of it. The thing I'm confused by, and again, it's nothing that you said, it's more of it's the organizational part, because this organization said all offseason that this was an offseason where Jim Schwartz had a real big say in the defensive kind of schematics and retooling. So I completely agree that Jim can only do so much with, one cornerback that can actually play. Coleman sucks so far, and Maddox is
take all that out of it. Take all that out of it. They just roster construction wise, right? People can say whatever they want. They just overlook the middle linebacker position. Like, Jim Schwartz isn't running in and being like, you better draft Patrick Queen at 17. Do you understand? That's Howie Roseman's decision. So the whole area knows you need a linebacker. So he takes a project linebacker in the third round instead of a guy who can come in and play right away. That's the disconnect. That's the disconnect. So if you're drafting guys like that, that tells me your coaching staff is safe.
That's fair.
You know, and maybe it's not. Like maybe Jim his job doesn't deserve to be safe. I don't know either way. Right now.
And again, I don't disagree with the logic at all, but I just think if, say, for example, under the scenario where they go, they win 5-6 games, finish right around, maybe finish third in the division, you have a top 7, top 10 draft pick. To me, I think it's going to be really, really difficult for Jeffrey Lurie in his end of the season press conference to say everyone's coming back. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. If that happens, Howie should be out of the city. But because I agree, what would probably happen is there's kind of a behind closed doors Howie Roseman reassignment that they don't talk about, but you kind of see it going forward because it's kind of like a 2-for-1 swing to where you see like, oh, the Eagles sign, so-and-so who's like a draft guy from another team or whatever. And it's kind of like you put 2 and 2 together to be like, oh, well, maybe Howie's out of drafting. But I think the way this city is and the way we were with the Sixers and the way that we still are and the way we are with the Phillies until they fire the idiot or the idiots, I should say, we're thirsty for blood. Somebody needs to be, held responsible and their job needs to be lost. And nobody here, we're not trying to be people who are responsible for, getting people fired. But at the end of the day, it's obvious. And the thing that worries me is the blind loyalty from Jeffrey Lurie all the way down. That's the thing that scares me.
But blind loyalty where? Because I think we can all, if we all been watching this football team long enough, that I think everybody on this panel outside of Greg will tell you full blame for the lack of talent out there is on one guy. So like we can talk about his loyalty to Howie Roseman, but he doesn't have this overwhelming loyalty to Doug Peterson. He hasn't even given him an extension yet.
No, yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't disagree with that statement.
So there hasn't been the loyalty. Like maybe Jim's has some loyalty, but they've also won football games. So to bring back Jim and Jim staying, as a Super Bowl was big for us. We thought, you know what I mean? So that's why they haven't need to change their coordinators.
Let's go, Caesar.
I'm sorry. I
don't even
Scott Kingery, who?
Yeah, Caesar Hernandez just hit up an RBI single, 9-8 innings in the bottom of the 8th.
Off of Chapman.
I like this. We're gonna get some like live.
That's right on
reactions
par.
at the end of the game. I might have to turn this on. This is good.
right on par with the rest.
No,
of
I agree with you, Tom. My worry is the Roseman loyalty. That's my worry. It's because when everyone in this city knows what Howie Roseman sucks at, and really the thing he's supposed to be great at. That's why I was arguing with Chrome the other day because he was like talking about, Howie, we're going to be fine. Howie's the draft or the cap genius. I'm like, Doug, Chrome, I love you, but I don't even know if we can say that anymore. We can't. Like this year, we got to kind of do like an opt out for that nickname, the cap genius, because his cap struggles and him pushing everything back is the reason why we can't have an immediate fix this season. It's why the GM's talking about, hey, even if we have major injuries or if we need a quick fix, we're not making that flashy trade. Like that's friggin' ridiculous for a GM to say that 5 weeks before the season. That's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, well, that's where we agree. I think there is the blind loyalty to Howie Roseman, and that's where we're going to fully agree on. I just don't think there's the blind loyalty for the other guys because he's proven in not giving Doug a long-term extension. And I think that's sort of when we talk about the butting heads that are going on right now, I think that's part of it, man. I really do, guys. I think that he's been shown no good faith by the organization besides taking on the playoffs every year outside of his rookie year here. So they haven't said, hey, you're our guy. That's strange.
But they've regressed. They've gotten to the playoffs, but they've regressed each year after Super Bowl.
Yep, and who's that part of too?
That's no, I completely agree with you on that.
So that's part of Howie Roseman as well.
Sure.
That's Howie Roseman talk. I mean, who constructs the roster? Now, Doug Peterson, Greg, had Andy Reid carte blanche in this organization like he did for years, then it's a different conversation. Then it's you getting worse at every thing you do, right? So it's like, okay, you got your hand on too many things. But when you talk about Doug, he has no control over player personnel. Obviously, he doesn't even have control over the guys he wants to keep coaching wise. So think about that for a second. And you're a Super Bowl winning head coach, and you're losing. You come out and say that you guys are coming back. Jeffrey Lurie says fires in the
Right,
next
they
day.
stepped in for those guys, right? Go ahead.
I understand.
I got you.
Okay, you could say that, but our offense hasn't looked good, has it?
Hasn't looked good in 3 years.
Okay, it looked a lot better last year. But I mean, that doesn't matter. You can tell me you can do whatever you want. If you think this offense wasn't better last year, then I got.
Well, anything's better than this year's. I'll give you that.
Okay, I'm making a point.
I'm not saying it was good, but yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay. It's my Super Bowl winning head coach who's saying, "Hey, these guys are coming back," and my owner comes and slashes his throat on it. The next day, you tell me that there isn't a big time divide from top to bottom now. When the guy
go out and win.
I'm not telling you not go out and win. That's all he's done. I'm telling you that look what they set him up with. It's almost like a set up to fail in a way too. So why is the team gotten worse over the last 2 years, 3 years? Well, because our talent, the talent we brought in hasn't been as good, especially on the offense side of the football. The defense side of football, we've done a really good job.
But if he's this great coach, he should be able to work with what we have.
Has he not gotten a team into the playoffs every year? Has he not won a Super Bowl with working what he's had, Greg? I'm just asking for a friend.
With the Super Bowl, there was a whole lot more talent, coaching-wise and player-wise, too.
I get that, but did he not go win a Super Bowl? I mean,
he did.
You can say there's a lot more talent, but that wasn't.
And then we've regressed each year.
Okay, but again, more injuries, more bad decisions. Draft day.
Don't disagree.
A, B, C, and D equals regression as well. That equals regression. If you want to regress, it's really easy to do in the National Football League. I'm not making excuses for the guy, but he's done more with less since he's got here. And now it's like, so we can overvalue players, or we can start putting some respect on a guy who just won games. And I don't think our organization is doing that. That's the fucking problem. I'm not being like Doug's free bodyguard here. I'm just telling you how it's going down in the organization, and that's not good. That's not good.
Maybe they see the regression and they're not going to lock into them.
So you trust these two?
I don't trust any of them.
Okay, so there you go. You answered your own damn question.
I don't trust any of them, and that includes Doug.
Well, that's asinine. Okay, but that's
why they're terrible right now. How can you sit here right now and say you trust Doug? They've regressed every year since the Super Bowl. Yes, the talent has dropped, absolutely, but he's also had this aura that he's the greatest offensive coach of all time, and defensive constantly know what's coming at him.
He's had this aura. Why? Because he called his own plays.
Well, he doesn't want another offensive coordinator to give another ideas into the room. It's only him.
Hold on, did he fire his offensive coordinator this year?
He didn't know.
Was that him? Was that him who fired him? Okay.
No.
Okay, I'm just asking you, Greg. Because
why they weren't good though?
It's not the freaking point. You
just need different ideas. Like, yeah, Andy calls the shots, but he got his offensive coordinator bringing ideas. Yeah, Doug called the plays, but Reich was there giving ideas, giving schemes. I'm not saying one can't work without the other, but obviously Doug's best year was 2017, and he hasn't been good since. So where's the difference?
He hasn't been good since, Greg.
He hasn't been good since.
He wasn't good in 2018.
No.
Okay, that was a bad football team. They didn't rally. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I mean,
not when you look at it objectively. If you look at it like, oh, this is the year after the Super Bowl, we can do no wrong. We got to the playoffs, and it's a win. Then cool, yeah, that's a great year.
Yeah, if he dropped the ball, right? I mean, I got you. I got you. You're going to put the regression on him, and that's fine.
He's the head guy, so yeah. If it's not Howie, it's got to be Doug.
But you were just proven wrong on the offensive coordinator, acting like, because you're telling me that he wanted to call his own damn plays and he didn't bring an offensive coordinator.
All these offensive coordinators are all guys with just titles. They're not guys that actually bring anything to the game plan.
So now, when it fits your agenda, it doesn't matter.
It hasn't fit my agenda. It doesn't. It doesn't. No need to fit the agenda because it's the truth.
Answer me a question. Riddle me this. Riddle me this, Mr. NFL now. Okay.
Here we go, baby.
Mr. 45 fucking TVs. Riddle me an offensive guy in this league who don't call his own damn plays.
I don't disagree with that.
And wait for that.
But they have other guys in the room that give ideas and game plan.
So now he's closing his door. So now he's locking the door like I am right. So now he's doing what I'm doing.
He wanted Mike Rowe and whoever the freak the quarterback coach was because he can overpower them.
Because he can overpower him. Now you think my home. So now it's Power Trip City. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right. If that's your opinion, then fine. I respectfully disagree with it.
I can see that.
You absolutely will. I know that.
You can't see that in the press conferences? No?
I see it every press conference. I agree.
I
see it everything.
You guys see what? You guys see what? Now you guys are, here we go. Here we go. The FBI's in. The FBI's in on pressers now. I mean, tell me what you see. Tell me what so fucking glaring, please. Enlighten me on the glaringness that the issue with our head coach now. That it's all his fault.
Arrogance.
Oh, an NFL head coach is a little arrogant. Go ahead again.
Excessively arrogant.
And Andy wasn't excessively arrogant to this media too? Oh, wait.
I don't want to say the way Doug was and the way Doug is now.
Are you guys kidding me? We're going to sit here and say Andy Reid didn't get arrogant with his media. He would hit you with times yours. Yeah. I mean, oh my God. It was the same arrogance.
You don't see a difference in the way Doug has been this season, especially compared to other seasons.
And I'm trying to sit here and tell you is why.
There's
and nobody wants to hear me. Well, because listen, the organization has not backed him. They bent him over this all season, made him look like a jerk off. Okay? And we got to put some stock into that. Like, they just said, oh, you know what? He's like, these are my head guys. These are my guys. They're coming back. We're good to go. Blah, 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 blah. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's what he said. When the organization goes and fires guys after you say that, we're all human beings right here. Would we be cool with that? Cool with that?
So you think it's him being mad at the organization and not him just thinking his shit don't stink?
No, I think he's pissed. I think he's pissed at a lot of things. And I do think his shit don't stink because you probably should think that. I mean, Super Bowl winning head coach. You should think your shit don't stink. You should walk around with confidence. This ain't for little kids. This ain't AAU football. This is big boy football. I mean, if you don't go walk around with a little fucking swagger, you get eaten the fuck up. Now we're going to act like he's Chip Kelly. Greg,
but there's a difference.
Hi to people.
There's a difference between confidence and arrogance from a guy who's basically 0-3.
Yeah, but I understand that, but he's also. I'm not saying he's been Mr. Nice Guy, but if how's all our arrogance been since 0-2-1? Have we been nice people? Have we been a glimmer of sunshine? Have we been? You know what I mean? Have we been this?
Not really.
These things. So we expect him to be Uncle Happy, like, hey guys. Y'all good to tie today. Yeah, it did. Tremendous job by everybody. Yep. Love what I'm saying. What a roster. Well constructed. Is that what do we want to do right now? I don't know what we want to do. I don't watch pressers because what do we want him to do? What's he going to say that's going to make us feel better? Besides saying, hey, we stink. And we really think he's going to come say that? So what do we expect to hear in press conferences? Nothing. I don't expect to hear. Andy told me over my years of watching pressers that there's nothing to listen to. There's nothing to listen to. Nothing. It's all fluffer talk. It's all fluff. All right? It's like in the porn. It's all fluff. All right? That's it. It's all it is. It's not the real deal. It's not when it gets hardcore. It's just a fluff. So we don't have no clue that Doug's closing closet doors on people, Greg. And he's in his little room and he's saying, oh, this is my draw-up time. Nobody's allowed to join me. I mean, that's what you're making it out to be.
Has his offense been good the last 2 years?
When he's more balanced, yep. The last 5 games of last year's offense was better.
We are also playing trash, but okay, I'll give it to you. I mean, your offense is going to look good against the Redskins and the Giants.
And who we have?
Well, we had an all-pro offensive line. We had almost a rookie of the year running back. Carson played a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
We had more talent.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's all about always getting talent, then why can't he make talent? Why is he always got to have talent? Why can't he make talent?
We're cooking now.
If he's supposed to be this quarterback guru, if he's supposed to be the quarterback factory, why is Carson regressed? Why is Nate Sudfeld still stink?
Did you really think Nate Sudfeld was going to be good, babe?
No, but I'm saying, why is he still stink? To the point where we needed to draft Jalen Hurts in the second round.
And you think that was his call?
I never said it was, but if Nate Sudfeld isn't able to be the number 2 quarterback,
who the fuck so because he ain't good enough to be number 2, and your GM thinks he's not good enough to be number 2, that's all Doug?
You don't think Doug had an idea, and you don't think Doug had a plan in picking Jalen Hurts?
Nope.
He was celebrating. Nope. He was celebrating on draft night.
Who?
That I disagree with.
Who?
He looked to be celebrating.
Doug.
We think they're going to do. You think they're going to be mad? You think he's going to sit in there and be pissed off?
We've seen plenty of general managers that look like they don't know what the hell just happened. They look like there's one Super Bowl again. They're running around the office in a pandemic where they shouldn't be touching. They're running around the office. They're hugging the kids.
Every pick. They do that with every pick.
So what is the question here? Are we putting blame all on Howie or all on Doug?
The correct answer is neither. It's the entire organization. But I think, and it goes to both. No, it's Howie. Howie's the problem because he's making final calls. But I think my stance is this, and it goes to Tom's point and Greg's point. So it's a perfect kind of blend. It'll be everyone will be happy for a couple of seconds. To me, the answer isn't Doug's all the problem. The answer isn't all Howie's the problem. The problem is the organization sucks right now. The organization has failed itself, and it's failed the quarterback, and it's failed the defense. It's failed the defensive coordinator to an extent. But that doesn't also mean that Doug is perfect, and Jim Schwartz is perfect, and Carson Wentz is perfect. The entire and that's obviously that's the result in going 0-2-1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you just look at all of it to where there's a piece of the pie. That's Howie Roseman sucks at drafting, and you look at ever since the new regime change from 2016, where Howie came out of the freaking shoe closet, that they had one guy as a starter who was drafted since 2016 on Sunday, and that was Miles Sanders. And the only other guy that could have qualified for that is Arthega Blindside, and he sucks. And he had a lower body discomfort. You also look at it to where, okay, does Doug piss us off at times to where we see something that's working in the first half and we kind of abandon it? Yes. Is that something he's always done, and should we be surprised by it at this point? No, but we should fault him when we can. Jim Schwartz, is there times where he takes guys from other systems and he doesn't use them the way they should be used? He uses them how he does things, and they kind of suffer. Yeah. Do we see at times where guys from that defense, they go from a system that doesn't work for them, then they go to a system that does work for them, a la Rasul, LJ Fort, etc., Jordan Hicks, etc., and they haunt us for freaking years. That's the product of this organization right now. So, like I said, Greg, do I think you're very, very hard on Doug at times? And I think that you've kind of hated him ever since he signed here? Yeah.
Yeah, but can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
You just brought up Jordan Hicks. I mean, Jordan Hicks was good here. He just couldn't stay on the field. So it's not like he went somewhere else and became better. I mean, if he would have been on the field 16 games here, he probably would have gave him around the same production because he was a guy who always found himself around the football. All right. He could go sideline to sideline. Like Jordan Hicks was a good football player when he was actually on the field here. But we can't forget that he was banged up a ton here and then just had a great healthy season somewhere else.
He just couldn't stay healthy, which sucked. But when he was healthy, he was amazing.
Yeah, Ralphie, you're right. So it's not like Jim Schwartz's system made him bad. You know what I mean? Like he could play. Like when we had linebackers, our defense was a lot better, right? I mean, when we had Kenneth of the world, Nigels, I mean, our defense was good. We just didn't have good corners, but we had good linebackers. And now it's like the opposite. We have a couple good corners supposedly and no linebackers. So it's like really strange. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm not listen, there's blame, right, to your point, there's blame to go around to everybody that's part of this organization, as any part of anything, right? That everybody on this coaching staff, that anybody has parts of in-game play calling, right? And designs and schemes, right? You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the blame goes around to everybody. I'm not trying to overly defend Doug. I'll just defend Doug over Howie any day of the fucking week. And that's all I gotta say on it. Like, I'll just defend my football coach as a football guy over my nerd general manager every day.
What happened to the Yankees? What happened to the Yankees, Don? What happened?
It's bases loaded. Top 9-8 Indians still, but the bases are loaded with no outs.
The pitcher just dropped a fly ball.
Greg, I'll give you this opportunity.
Pitcher just dropped a fly ball.
What?
The pitcher just dropped a fly ball.
No, I heard him. I heard him.
Why is he catching a ball?
It wasn't actually. It was like more like a lump back liner. You know what I mean? To where it wasn't ever really high enough to either be considered infield fly or anything. He just dropped the ball.
No, we're not Yankees fans, Ted. Are you kidding me? We have clues.
No.
Thank you. No.
Go Phillies.
Yeah, go Phillies. Even though it doesn't sound too great right now. Greg, I'll just ask you this, okay? That way it's out in the open. In your opinion, if you had to blame one person more, say one's got 49%, the other one's got 51%, who are you blaming, Howie or Doug? Who's more at fault over the last 3 years since the Super Bowl?
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to put it on Howie because of the roster construction.
Okay.
There's no question about it.
All right.
You know, we're in cap hell and our roster's trash.
That's funny.
Outside of your starters, your roster is trash.
Oh, it felt good. Probably felt good for you to say that, I'm sure.
Am I wrong?
No, that's the whole point I was trying to make, but you weren't agreeing with me on. So, you know what I mean? Like, all I was saying is that Howie was more to blame, that I'm not putting as much on Doug. I'm not saying I'm not putting anything on Doug. I'm just trying to say I'm not putting as much on Doug. That was all I was going with.
When you're 0-2-1, anyone's fair game at this point to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I don't want you to think like I ripped Doug all Sunday. So don't anybody think that I going down the stretch of that game at times and different situations. Like, you know, the one Carson ran for like 20 yards. I got called back for the holding. You know, I was begging for a run right there. You know, maybe he can gash him for 5-6 yards. You know what I mean? Like, I was begging for a run. So I didn't love his play calling down the stretch at all. So in no way, shape, or form am I going to just sit back and defend this dude all day. You know what I mean? Like, when you go play for a tie, you're going to get smoked. So, but then again, I take it back to, like, he's won a lot of games here. So can you know, I'll judge you again this week. You know what I mean? I'll judge you again this week without blinders on anymore.
I do agree. Yeah, Pop. Yeah, we
3-1 to
I have
Caillou.
a cricket in my ear, I know.
3-1 to Caillou.
You have a cricket. It picks up that much stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like the 295 last week.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna be doing shows from like that. I don't know how my sound quality is through these things.
You go in and out every once in a while.
It's obviously great because we're picking up them crickets. Like, I feel like I'm learning the cricket language tonight.
Get fouled.
By the way, Ralphie, when you were going through the flashback to 2017, you were talking about Howie's blunders. Sweep. I got a text from the sweeps line. Mm-hmm. He said, Ralphie, you mean these running backs from 2017? Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, James Conner, Cohen, Mack, Jones, Chris Carson, all second round and higher picks?
Yeah, and they're still all with their team, the original team.
Except for Kareem Hunt, but yes.
Yes. Yeah. Except for Kareem Hunt.
It was a chopper.
All of them.
Sorry, it was a chopper back to the pitcher, not a pop-up. But still, he still booted the ball and didn't get an out.
Listen, but like, because you can't draft them outside of Miles, right? Because you have trouble evaluating that position, that's why I was forced to give you an hour to contract extension. You know what I mean? I know you're in cap hell, but also like realizing, like, okay, he was banged up. I get that, right? But realizing nobody in the NFL yards after contact has more. So like, don't forget the value that brought to your running game. Like, that's why you played well. You know, like he was banged up down the stretch, but when he was healthy in that Green Bay game and you had a little taste of him and Miles, it was a great 1-2 punch. You know what I mean? That you had. So you just never went on to address it, right? Because you missed on the pump.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? You missed on the
Yeah.
free pick. So what you missed on that pick, and now you're set back. Every time you miss, you're set back another year or two, at least. You missed on JJ. Well, now you're a year or two back. You don't know what Jalen Reagor is. And right now he's banged up, so his progression actually gets worse. So now you're like a year away from him. It's every guy. It's every guy that's picked in his organization. Like Dallas got hurt, gone. You know what I mean? Like every guy, even if they can play, they're either banged up or they end up not being good enough. You just can't make it up. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Let's see here.
Come on, 30 Sanchez. Hit into a double play here.
Yeah, I'm turning this game on. Screw it. I got to turn this game on. Let's see. Joseph Warakovsky says Wentz needs to become a game changer. 75-25 run pass.
No, game manager.
Great manager. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. 75-25 run pass ratio until Wentz proves he can protect the ball and make basic throws, or until Miles doesn't average 5.5 yards per carry.
That's a grand idea.
Yeah, I don't give a guy $100 million to be a game manager. I can give a guy $4 million a year to be a game manager.
But for a couple games to like figure shit out.
Yeah, like if our game plan is what the game plan was when we won on the road in Lambeau last year, where it was all about the rushing attack, you know what I'm saying?
No, I mean I definitely think we have to be more balanced, but you can't go 75-25.
Nah, that's aggressive. That's
you know what I mean? Like that's like having Trent Dilfer back there, or you know what I mean? Like you want to talk about true game managers, you know what I mean? Like that's what that looks like. No, I mean Carson is electric when he's right. Now, yes, does he have to get right? There's no question. Does that mean you should run the ball to take a little bit of pressure? Oh, tie game. Fudge.
Yep. Tie game 9-9.
Sack fly. You know what I mean? But like to go 75-25, I'm Mr. Balance, run the ball as you want, but even you got to be probably closer to 60-40.
Yeah, and you can't do that with one running back. You're going to ask, you know what I'm saying? You're going to ask Miles to get hurt. Now, if you would have listen, if you would,
I agree, Bobby.
If you would have gotten Fournette,
I agree, Bobby. Yep. Man.
Yeah.
I think we could have auto drafted the last 3 years and done better. Set the computer up and went to Chickies and had a beer.
Listen, our draft showed 7 months ago when we were just watching the damn computer make picks and we were reacting to it. That draft, I feel like we would be 3-0 right now.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I feel like we've had better picks on our own, outside of certain guys at A2D. You know what I mean? I can't speak for all of us, but certain guys got their wish on some things. But
you just look at the Bengals, right? I mean, they drafted 2 linebackers in the 3rd and 4th round.
Both of them I wanted. Both of
the guys that were talked about is for not just for us, all Eagles fans, right? Because we knew the need at linebacker.
Yep.
And both of those had huge plays in the game against us playing, and our 3rd round project should be a 6th round, 5th round linebacker.
And one of them had an interception.
Yeah. And the other one broke off. The other one broke up and covered Miles on a wheel route and broke up the ball.
Sorry, Greg. What channel is this damn game on?
ESPN.
ESPN.
So it's just it went off. I got you. Okay, thank you. Philly Sports Passion's calling a walk-off Indians home run.
Carlos Santana would make everything perfect. Nope. Scored another run.
This is not good.
DJ LeMahieu. Maybe another. Did they score 2? They just scored 2 runs.
No, they did not.
No, I think we
God.
Let's see here. Ted, question for you guys and ladies. Would you trade Andy for Doug straight up right now?
Oh, man.
Well, we know one guy's answer. Greg, you want to lead us off?
Right now, yeah. And I'm not even an Andy guy.
Oh, God. Would you trade Doug?
But again, I'm not an Andy guy, but I take that run every time.
Would you trade Doug for Chip straight up?
I don't know.
The fact
I would
that,
just because I don't like Doug.
Damn.
And I knew I was
you-
just waiting to get that reaction from the two of you.
Would you trade Doug for the cricket?
Yes.
I mean, that's a given. That's a lock.
Thought so.
I can put them up there, baby, for you. I can maybe not hand deliver, but still deliver.
Just kind of flick it up there. Just flick it.
Tristan says the Super Bowl. Okay, would I trade Doug straight up for Andy right now? No. In terms of Ted, no. I mean, we've had Andy. I love Andy. I wouldn't have got rid of Andy the first time, but we did. You know what I mean? It almost ran its course. I would have kept Andy here his whole life. You know what I mean? So that's just me. But I was one of the few guys who actually liked the Doug Peterson hire. So I'll stand by it for right now. It's paid off. So as much as we're talking a bunch of shit tonight, it did pay off. Now we got to figure out how do we get back there again. You know what I mean? And what needs to be done in this organization for us to hoist that Lombardi and have that parade again. Hopefully, at that point, no mask, because it might be like 3 years away. So we might be good. We might totally be good. But that's all I got for tonight, unless anybody's got anything extra. I don't think we're even going to get to the other topics. And why would we?
No, I'm good. I got all my Eagles.
I
got all my Eagles stuff out.
Just a real quick rapid fire. Yes or no? Will the Sixers hire Doc Rivers?
Yes.
Will they? Yeah.
Yes. I think he's the front guy.
Okay, Greg. Should they? Should they?
I'm not a Doc guy, so I'm not necessarily Mr. Doc. But is he better than Ty Lue and Mike D'Antoni? Yes. So.
Yeah, I like it.
He's the best of what's out there.
Hey, Andy.
I've always been a big Doc guy, so I'm not going to say no now. Like, he's here, so let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The
Accountability.
one.
That's all I heard.
I never thought I'd say this, but he's the one.
Tori, the fact that you're saying this now feels like there's more of a chance for a Broad Street talk, and we come back from 3-1, and Doc redeems himself. We get over our hump.
Doc Rivers in, Matt Klentak out. Eagles win.
Klentak needs to go
Let's go.
on last year. Klentak should have went with Gabe.
Yes.
And McPhail needs to go with him.
Do you guys, with all the reports now saying, oh, maybe he won't be fired, does everyone believe he's going to be fired? Klentak?
No. Which sucks, but no.
Do I believe it?
Yes.
If he's not fired right now, I don't believe anything.
Yeah.
He has to be
there. I'm right
If
there.
he wasn't gone after the 60th game of the season, then he ain't leaving.
If he wasn't fired on Monday and he's still here, for whatever reason, Mr. Stupid Money is scared to leave money on the table for this bum.
That's exactly what it is. It's the $6 million. That's what I think it is.
If he's still here next year, there's major, major, major problems. And I've never said that I'm not going to go to a Phillies game or watch a Phillies game. Like, I'm not that kind of person. But I'm closer to that point of saying that.
Well, I'll say this, right? If he does, listen, I hope he doesn't come back. We all know how I feel about him. Do I think he comes back? I'll say probably because of money. I agree with that. It's hard not to agree with that since we won't go over a luxury tax, so we probably don't want to waste $6 million. So, but what I will say is he signs JT. He brings back Didi for another year or two or whatever, right? And he upgrades his bullpen. He can redeem himself, even though I think he's a loser.
Yeah.
He can still redeem himself. So, if he has things he's got to do. But this ball club offensively was right there. So, I got to think that if we upgrade the pieces we know we need to upgrade, that we could still contend or should. I mean, how many games do we have leads in out of the 6?
A lot.
Too many.
12.
No.
It seemed like half of the season we did.
Yeah.
Like 49 out of the 60 games.
And you would turn the game on, it would be 6-0 Phillies. You would leave the room for a minute, you come back, you're down 8-6. It's just snap of a finger, already down 2 runs because the bullpen sucks.
But I think if he stays, he's not even going to sign JT. So it's like if he signs JT, there's a little
And
bit
if
of
he
a
doesn't
glimmer
sign
of hope.
JT, Tori, then he should be fired on the spot.
I
Then.
don't think JT's coming back anyway. I don't
Yeah.
care.
The
I don't
ball's in
think
JT's court right now.
Yeah, I don't think it.
Absolutely.
I don't think it matters who the GM is. I don't think he's coming back at all. Under any
And what's going to suck is
he's back. He's coming back if they give him enough money.
No, you're right. I mean, money in years talk. You're right. You're no question there. More in baseball, especially with the DH coming. You know what I mean, or probably going to be here full time, right? But you're going to have the likes of all other NL East teams outside the Marlins are going to be in on him too.
No, of course, but your star player and him are best of buds. So you have that advantage over every other team right now.
Their wives are best friends.
Yeah,
you're right, Pop. We should.
That's why I think he's back, because all the things equal him coming back outside of Clintac delaying the process.
And that's why I think it's on Clintac and not JT.
Yeah, and that's why
but as soon as but as soon as the season ended, he's a free agent though, so we lose all control.
Well, he's a free agent right now, right?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. So.
Yeah, I still think he's back. I mean, when your star player's yelling and screaming about it, dude,
I hope so.
I'm just saying your hands are fucking tied, man. I mean, your hands are goddamn tied. I'm not saying any of you guys are wrong. I'm just saying your hands are tied. Like, you got to overpay now. That's on you. Like, you could have did it earlier. Maybe part of JT.
And you're right. You're right, Tommy. This is the bed you made. Now you got to lay in it. You could have done this. You could have done this in February. Get out of the way. No distractions at all. But then now you waited, and then now look at the bed you got to lay in.
Made a whole.
Now you got to outbid. Now you got to outbid everybody else to get him back into Philadelphia.
Ted, I'll tell you this, because he says NHL draft and free agency next week. I'll tell you this, and this will be my bold prediction for all Philly sports. By this show next week, by the time we're on the air next week, Patrick Laine will be here.
Let's go, baby. I love it, Rye.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yep. Big time player.
Ooh. Keith Pompey just posted an article. The Sixers are expected to hire Doc Rivers.
Listen, as they should. Okay.
Yeah.
You want a culture change. I believe that out of everybody out there, this is the best candidate. And one of my top 5 favorite coaches in the NBA. I'm a huge Doc guy. Now, does that mean he's perfect? I'm not saying that, right? But I think he's a major upgrade from what was just here, right? We couldn't get 3-1 leads to blow him. So how about we start getting them so we can complain about them? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's the accountability talk everybody begged for. I think there's a leadership he brings. I think he's going to, and then other guys want to be his assistants. You see that. Sam Cassell. There's guys who want to actually come with him, not a Sammy come with him, right? So we might still get Sam Cassell out of this. You understand? There's reasons to like this. He might bring some of his LA staff with him. So there's reasons to like this. We wanted a fucking change, and we're getting it in a bigger way than we thought we would get it. When we were having this conversation last year, we were like, well, will we, who are we going to sign? Mark Jackson? Like, there was nobody out there yet. And then all of a sudden it goes, boom, you got an opportunity for Doc, right? Like the name went up on levels which you liked, like Lou, D'Antoni, and then boom, Doc. And you're like, oh, well, okay. You know what I mean? If you would have told me fire and bright, I get Doc, I'll take that trade.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing, guys, that I think people were kind of not really thinking about yet. And Greg, I think this might even make you feel better about it too. You look at it, the best version of Tobias Harris was under Doc Rivers. We saw that. You know what I mean? The best the guy that we traded for that was supposed to be the superstar or just a big-time piece, the max type player, was under Doc Rivers. That's something.
Before he got Kawhi and PG, that he had that LA team always playing above expectations.
Yep.
Yes.
The best coaching job you can argue he ever did was 2 seasons ago when they won. When they got to the playoffs, when people thought they were going to tank.
Let's go, Seager.
And the funny thing is they actually kind of got better after the Tobias trade when they won and they got to the playoffs.
They took Golden State to 6 games.
Yeah, and they won, and they did that with Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Those were the 2 big stars on that team. And Shamet. And freaking Shamet.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
What was the name you said? Flyers. Patrick Laine, young kid superstar
From
Jets.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, that's all I got.
Ladies, gentlemen, that's what you guys even are.
Been a fun night.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's fun for you when the Lakers win, huh?
Yeah,
I got my man limping all over the floor.
Dragic has a tear in his foot, by the way, like a plantar tear. So he's done.
This series is over.
Yep. Congrats, Ralphie.
Rat talk.
Yeah,
Look at him
good job,
smiling.
bro. Freaking piece of shit right now.
I love you too.
I love you too. So listen, a lot of fun. Talked about a ton of shit. So we got plenty of Eagles in, dealt with crickets, still making moves, tried 2 different devices, and we're here. So I mean, we fought more than the Eagles have so far to continue this. So great show, everybody. Yeah, cricket hunter. Killed too many of them. So listen, our doc, gotta make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Delvecchio, Uncle Steppy, and Tori from the block, we thank you all for listening. We love you all. We're praying for a dub. Get your merch. And we're praying for a damn dub this week. And if you're listening right now, like, subscribe, follow, set your alerts, set all this stuff, right? Let's go. We're here. And anywhere you get your podcasts, make sure you're there. We're there as well. So like, subscribe, follow there. All right. We're talking about 1 o'clock in the morning. So and on that note, I can't end the stream. So Ralph or I, whenever you would like to.
It's me.
Please,
all right.
Please enjoy yourself.
All right. I get to hit the button. I get to hit the red button.
Sleep tight, fam. We put you to bed tonight.
And 3, 2, 1.